Six Alive Sports presents University of Maine Playoff Hockey. Brought to you by Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, your total transportation center. By Century Tire, with 3 locations in Portland and North Windham. We'll keep you rolling. And by Therma-Tru, doors that fit tight and fit right. Making doors that last made us first.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dane County Coliseum on the campus of the University of Wisconsin in Madison, Wisconsin. It's great NCAA college hockey action. And hello, everyone. I'm Dale Duff, along with Scott Smith, ready to bring you the action. And in case you missed it last night, the Bears fell to the Badgers by a score of 7-3, and Scott Smith simply put the Bears are in a hole, and they have to dig out of that hole tonight if they're going to do it.
Well, it's do or die, Dale. They have to play a strong game in all the zones, and I think they're up to it.
It was a game last night where the Bears simply were outmatched for the first 10, 12 minutes, maybe the first period, but from that point on, it was a fairly even hockey game.
Well, they had a rough first 2 periods, we could say, as a whole. In the third period, they came out and dominated play. They did all the little things. They were finishing their checks and playing real strong in the neutral zone. That just carried off into both the defensive and offensive zone, and things went well.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have a look at some of the key matchups for you.
At Century Tire, we know that customer satisfaction is our best advertising. Les Otten of Sunday River likes our prices and service. Rachel Waning, a young woman just out of UMO, knows she can count on us. And Ed Anderson of the Maine Mariners knows a winning team when he sees one. For complete car care and great service, come on in. We'll keep you rolling.
At Century Tire, we'll keep you rolling. We're special. Taste how good it can be. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm here. I'm pumped. It's gonna be the Sam's hat. It's hot. Whoa, they're hot. Hey, they've got those great Sam's hats. Check it out. They've got those cool Pepsi sports courts from Sam's. Wait till the guys hear this. Whoa, time for the cool down.
At Sam's, you never had it so good.
In a few short years, the Industrial Lube Division of R.H. Foster has become the leading distributor of mobile lubricants in Maine. Products like Mobile Delvac engine oils. Top quality mobile products and engineering services, together with Foster's expertise, serves all of the state from our new distribution center in Hamden, as well as our other locations in Lisbon, Caribou, and Machias. Our many lube customers know we mean what we say. If we can't save you money, we don't deserve your business.
Well, the Wisconsin Badgers have made it to the ice, and you hear the crowd in the background. Another 8,644 people on hand, and Scott King is in goal for the Bears.
Well, he's been the man for Maine all year. He's come through in the clutch, and tonight the whole team's got to help him out, definitely, and hopefully Scott will do a good job for us.
He's the senior goaltender, and he's the man that's going to be called upon by Sean Walsh tonight. And meanwhile, for the Wisconsin Badgers, their high-powered offensive man is number 16, Gary Shuchuk.
Gary's all everything for this team. He's been all WCHA this year. Got 2 goals last night, and he's a threat whenever he's on the ice. Big leader for this team, and Maine's definitely got to take the body on Gary Shuchuk tonight.
He has 78 points on the year. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups live from Madison, Wisconsin.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaking wooden doors, one door stands alone. The beautiful Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. Rugged fiberglass and solid insulating foam that looks just like wood, but stands up to blistering heat and biting cold for years. The great-looking, trouble-free Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. An open and shut case for greater home beauty.
See Kents Hill Lumber, Kents Hill, and Pineland Lumber, Lewiston.
There are 2 ways to make cookies. Shaw's makes their cookies entirely from scratch. Other supermarkets make theirs from frozen dough. Shaw's uses wholesome scratch ingredients like flour, pure cane sugar, and real chocolate chips for fresh-baked, irresistible cookies. Other supermarkets use whatever it takes. Shaw's, quality naturally.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Dane County Coliseum. The Black Bears surround goalie Scott King, as we mentioned, the man that will need to come up big for the Black Bears, as Matt Del Judas had a very tough first period last night and then settled in fairly nicely. Wouldn't you say, Scott?
Well, the first couple goals, he really didn't have much help. He was left back there all by himself. There's 2-on-1 and a 3-on-1, and that's real tough on a goaltender. He he had a little bit of a shaky start, and he came on strong and finished the game strong, which is a plus.
All right, at this time, let's go downstairs to PA announcer John Rusted for tonight's starting lineups.
Cell 5. And now for the University of Wisconsin Badgers. In goal from Morden, Manitoba, number 29, Dwayne Dirksen. And left defense from Madison, Wisconsin, number 21, Rob Andringa. And right defense from Burnsville, Minnesota, number 24, Mark Osiki. At center from Madison, Wisconsin, number 11, John Weiss. At left wing from St. Paul, Minnesota, number 9, Steve Rollick. And at right wing from Madison, Wisconsin, number 2, Barry Richter. Now will you please rise or remain standing and join Professor Mike LaCrone and the UW Varsity Band for the playing and singing of our national anthem.
Well, we hope you pull up a chair and enjoy the game tonight, because it's nail-biting time for Maine Black Bear fans. Tonight's officials, referee Harry Eminen, a controversial call last night that we'll get to in a moment. He is an ECAC official. You see the linesman and goalie Scott King, hoping that this will not be his last game, and Dwayne Dirksen is the goalie for the Badgers from Wisconsin. He's a sophomore from Manitoba. Here's the play we're talking about, the controversy last night. Keep an eye on number 19 in blue, Jim Montgomery.
Well, we'll see Jimmy come out of the corner here, and we'll let the fans make the call. If you think this is a spear, you're going to be pretty upset. Jimmy got a 5-minute major for spearing there in a game misconduct, and he's missing tonight's action. 60-point goal scorer for Maine this year. He's been a big part of this squad, and it's kind of a shame that the referee makes a mistake like that. Everyone in this building thought it was a mistake. Even the goaltender thought it was a mistake. But it is an emotional game, and geez, that was a tough break for Jimmy. You wish he was out here with
And so Montgomery cannot play tonight with the game disqualification, and Maine cannot fill his spot on the roster. And so the Bears will skate with 19 skaters. That means that Sean Walsh has decided to go with 5 defensemen. He's also has Brian Downey, the freshman, not playing tonight, and decides to go with Steve Widmeyer and Steve Tepper, giving up speed for size.
Well, Bowling Green series, that line of Massera, Whitmire, and Tepper, they dominated the game. Both coaching staffs felt they were a dominant force out there. And last night in the third period, when Maine did have a little momentum going, they were right in Wisconsin's face. They were finishing their checks and playing real strong in the neutral zone, and that's why that line's out there tonight. They're going to be hammering the corners, hammering along the boards, and trying to take the play to Wisconsin.
All right, well, let's see what happens. It's game 2 in this best-of-3 series. The Badgers lead the Bears 1-0. 7-3 was the final score last night. Maine breaks in and shoots it wide of Dirksen. It's the Belfay line out there, so Sean Walsh sends that big line out right at the start. It's Solfi, Belfay, and Barkley. Now this is Osiki for the Badgers. At center ice, it's John Bice, number 11. He'll drop it off for Rollick. His shot, score! It went right through the pads of Scott King. And less than a half a minute into the game, the Badgers have the lead, and that is something that Sean Walsh did not want to happen.
Well, there was a delay call here on Brian Belfay, and it seemed like guys let up a little bit. Shot just right on net and just trickles through Scott King's pads. Jeez, tough break. Sean did not want that, and I know the Maine players are really going, what's going on here?
Steve Rollick gets the goal. It's his 17th goal of the year. He's the captain of this Badger outfit.
And here they go. They're starting up. This crowd really gets into the game here.
I have to say that I've never seen a more organized crowd. They have every chant, everything that they want to do, right down to a science. And it's all choreographed, and we'll see how much more it comes into play tonight. Black Bear players told us today it wasn't that loud down there on the ice last night.
They're used to the Alfonso, Dale, and that's one of the loudest buildings in college hockey.
Now Maine comes back. A shot from the point is hung on to by Dirksen as Straub teed it up, but Dwayne Dirksen was there with the glove, and as the whistle blows, the sticks and the gloves are up for a moment. Pellerin is there. There you see Dwayne Dirksen. He's from Morden, Manitoba, and he has played in 32 games for the Badgers this year.
Brian Straub with a good hard shot right on him, and he hangs on to it. Maine's got to flood that net with a lot of action. Players got to get involved there.
Well, Randy Haas, please report to the west.
Last night when they were having success, they were right on top of the Badgers in the offensive zone.
On the draw, won by the Badgers, and up comes Richter. Barry Richter loses the puck, and Widmeyer flips it, and it winds up into the crowd as the referee took a spill.
This is just bizarre. I can't believe it's 2 games in a row now. Within the first few minutes, there have been goals.
46-year-old Jeff Sauer in his 8th year here at Wisconsin.
You know he's happy right now.
Boy. A lot of hockey to be played, but certainly the Bears not off to the start that they wanted. The goal by Rollick came at the 1933 mark. Now in the corner, the Badgers work for it. Maine pushes up deep to keep it in. Carney can't keep it in, though, and it floats back to center ice. Now it deflects all the way down on Scott King. Straub at center ice, can't connect with the Tepper, and Dirksen plays it to the corner. Tepper takes a man down, and a penalty coming up. And I think it's going to be on Endringa.
Endringa hauled Steve Tepper down and had to make that call. Last night the crowd got to this ref a little bit. I think he might have been a little intimidated. I don't think they have crowds quite like this in the ECAC.
So let's see. Endringa, he went to the players bench. At first he was going to try to sneak off, but he'll go off for the hook. He was very impressive last night, I thought.
Played real steady. He's a lunch pail defenseman, and he knows what it takes. Goes back there and clears the front of the net, moves the puck, and does his job.
Robitaille, Roy, Pellerin, Carney, and Burke out there for Maine on the power play. We have played a minute and 18 seconds. The Badgers with the 1-0 lead. Remember, they won last night by a score of 7-3. Tom Sagerser, Gary Suchuk, Sean Hill, and Rob Mendel will try to kill it for the Badgers. Passing in front, Pellerin can't get a stick to it. Burke moves to keep it in, but Hill tries to sweep it out. Finally, the Badgers clear.
Sean Hill playing with the flu last night and tonight.
Mendel gives a Black Bear a crunch down behind the board, but the Bears come back. Now Hill intercepts that pass. Stays in the zone. Roy makes a turn, but now it's broken up by Mendel, or by Suchuk rather, and the Badgers will change on their penalty-killing unit. Now Pellerin, Carney wants to break through the middle, stops, shot goes wide of Dirksen. Now Burke tries to keep it in the line, and he does. Sweeps it to the open corner. On it is Robitaille. Martin back to Carney. Robitaille is so smart with that stick, it goes behind the net. Pellerin now Robitaille. Pellerin crunched to the boards by Hill, intercepted by Rawlik, but not out. Here comes Carney, moving in, stops, hung on to by Dirksen. Oh, what a shot, a wrister by Keith Carney, and Dirksen came up big.
Great save by Dirksen. Keith had a couple options to move the puck to either side, and he opted to take the shot. You see Scott Pellerin backing right in, looking for a rebound here. He just lets a rocket go, and Dirksen comes up with a big glove save. Maine has to get some shots here early. I mean, they have to keep knocking on the door here. They don't want to get in a situation where Wisconsin gets another goal and you know, it's 2-0, and it just seems like it's a snowball effect. But like we've said, there's a lot of hockey left here to be played.
Sean Walsh, 34 years old, looking to get back to the Final Four for the 3rd straight year, but he's got some work to do this weekend. Randy Olsen, shot goes wide of Dirksen. Tepper goes down but gets the puck. Now with Tomberlin, and Olsen holds, goes deep into the corner. Tomberlin behind the net. He played well last night. Olsen tees it up, knocked down, score! Winning off defenseman's skate, Roger Sykes' skate, and this game is tied.
You never know what happens when there's a lot of action in front here.
And so the Bears on the power play, or I take that back, the power play is over now.
Randy Olsen just tees it up, and it was deflected. Several deflections in front, and it just went off Sykes' skate. Dirksen didn't have a chance. You'll see on the right-hand side of the screen, boom, it's in the net.
And so give the goal to Randy Olsen. It's his 16th goal of the year. It comes at the 17:08 mark. And the game is tied 1-1, and you get the feeling that that Black Bear bench is now breathing a sigh of relief after that early goal by Steve Rawlik of the Badgers. Now Trey Toomey goes down, but in comes McDonald. He fires it in the center, but no one is there but blue shirts, and back comes Maine. Belfay can't connect. Barkley dumps it in, but McDonald has it. Pass ahead, can't connect with Toomey. Maine will clear it back into the zone. Dirksen is on it first. Now Sean Hill at center ice, connects with McDonald. He'll stop, drop it off for Granado. Badger player goes down behind the play, and the Bears come back. Now another penalty coming up here, and it'll be on Maine. And I think it's going to be John Macera. I take that back.
Don Granado's going to be off. It's going to be on
Granado. They both went down. Okay.
Maine's got a great opportunity here to get another goal on this power play. It's interesting, Maine against Wisconsin like to work it down low and try opening up the point men to get a blast, because they feel if they get the blast from the point, there's going to be rebounds. Last night they didn't get any of those rebounds because they weren't shooting enough. Here we can see the slash. Well, maybe it's a little hole there. He's grabbing Johnny.
He's in the box for two. That's
but regardless, we got a power play here.
And now they're going to do some ice repair work along the boards, and this was a common problem last night. Here at the Dane County Coliseum, they've just put this new sheet of ice down about a week ago. They had a farm show in here, and so it's a relatively new ice. And while they fix the ice, we'll take a break. It's the Bears 1, the Badgers 1, and we'll come back to Madison, Wisconsin after this.
By sweeping the Bowling Green Falcons, the Black Bears of Maine advanced to the NCAA quarterfinals for the 4th consecutive season. In addition, Sean Walsh has been named Hockey East Coach of the Year, and the Bears have set new marks in home attendance, home wins, and goals in a single game. Tonight, they continue their quest for the national title.
Good luck from Goldsmith Sporting Goods. Visit our Auburn and Scarborough locations. We guarantee the lowest hockey prices in the state of Maine. Port Sports, Maine's hottest ski and surf shops, Bethel, Portland, and Kennebunk, and Butts Financial Group, servicing Maine businesses through mergers, acquisitions, and divestitures.
Well, Sean Walsh certainly a little quieter than he was about 15 minutes after the game last night. He had a few choice things to say, particularly about the Montgomery call. And
well, it's tough because Sean knows Jimmy Montgomery, and he wouldn't put himself above the team and take a stupid penalty like it's announced as spearing. As we saw in the replay in the beginning of the game, it wasn't a spear. If anything, he could have got maybe hitting from behind or a slash. And as we said earlier, it's an emotional game, and the ref just made a bad call.
And Jeff Sauer, in his 8th year here at Wisconsin, he told me 2 days ago when I had a chance to talk to him that it's pressure every year here in Madison because they expect to go to the Final Four, at least the fans do here, every single year. And they haven't been there since '83.
They haven't been too lucky as late.
But it is a senior and junior laden team, and they think if it is any year, it is this year. The Bears hope to have something to say about that. Maine on the power play now. Dirksen does a good job to get that cleared out of the zone now. Carney and Burke play the point. Robitaille, Olsen, and Rua out there up front for the Bears. It's cleared in, but that'll be icing on Maine as it was shot from the other side of the red line. 18 seconds now have elapsed in this power play opportunity. And for the moment, the crowd very, very quiet.
Well, that's just it. That's one of the main reasons Sean doesn't want to get too emotional behind the bench, because if this place is quiet and he starts yelling at the ref and getting emotional like we all know he does sometimes, which is a part of the game, this just lights a fire under these 9,000 people, and just like they scored a goal.
By the way, I think it is a requisite that for all the fans who come in here, they have to have something red on, don't they?
It looks like it.
Oh, boy. Rua dumps it in. On it first is the goalie, Dirksen. He had Osiki. They kind of miscommunicated for the moment. The Bears keep it in. Robitaille behind the net, and Dringa and Osiki fight hard with him. Now it's finally cleared out of there by Bice. Almost sent Suchak away.
You have to watch Suchak all times.
And Dringa fires it down. A minute and 10 seconds left on the power play. It has been impotent so far. And we've got a whistle.
Offside.
Offside.
Power play didn't have much luck clicking there.
As you look at John Bice, one of the senior players, 67 points on the year, right here from Madison, Wisconsin.
Must be nice to come and play in your hometown.
The Badgers have 3 players from Madison on their team.
They have a new junior team here that plays in the United States Hockey League, USHL. That's a major junior league in the Midwest. They figured, what the heck, they might as well put a franchise here. They love the Badgers.
Tomberlin kicks it ahead, but can go no further, and Rawlick takes over for Wisconsin. He'll just dump it in, and the seconds tick away on this power play. Tepper is out there now for the Bears with Tomberlin and Barkley.
Watch for Steve Tepper to go right into the front of the net and park that 6'4" frame right in front of
He
Dirk.
Goes to the corner now, and Olsen with it. Wanted to center it, but couldn't. Tomberlin back to the point now, Scremin. Olsen wanted to connect with Straub, but it went outside the zone.
Wisconsin kills it a lot like Maine. They're real aggressive, and they really don't want to give you any time to set up.
1-1 the score. A goal by Rawlick and a goal by Olsen, and that's what we have so far in this game. Remember, it's must-win time for the Maine Black Bears in order to force a third game here tomorrow night. If there is, by the way, we'll be live here in Madison to bring it to you. Now Tomberlin ahead to Tepper. That's onside. Olsen with it. He's being checked by Kurtz, and now Osicki takes over, and he'll move it out. Out he comes with Snedden, broken up on the play by Tomberlin. In breaks the Badgers, in front, knocked down by King. Granado's attempt. Back to the point it comes. Osicki's shot, blocked down in front by the Maine defense. Into the corner now, it's Kurtz. Behind the net it'll go. He's rubbed to the boards by Maine, and finally it's cleared out to center ice. Now Mark Osicki drives it ahead, but intercepted by Maine. Both teams looking to change, and both teams finally do get fresh troops out there. Now here comes Barkley, trying to go around Nelson, passes it in front, but it never really did connect with Belfay, who was held off. Belfay will go after it against Nelson, takes a hit from Nelson, and the Badgers take over. Chris Tansel goes wing to wing and works it to Tom Sagasor. He moves in, but that's offside. Crowd here doesn't like it, but that's an offside call on the Badgers, and it comes at the 13:09 mark. There's the man we profiled at the top of the show, Gary Shuchuk. He's the most valuable player in the WCHA this year. He's a good one.
Beat Matt Deljudas from the blue line last night with a slap shot. That was a National Hockey League slap shot. It was a bomb. Can really shoot the puck. Nice quick release.
And you look at some of the other action from last night. Simply put, all four home teams won last night. And I guess the biggest surprise of all is the Lake Superior-Colgate thing, where Colgate won. A lot of people thought that Lake Superior would walk in there and come out two straight, but Colgate stood up.
Nothing like playing at home, Dale.
Now Chris Nelson will dump it in the Maine zone, but Claudio Scremin is there first for Maine. He loses the puck for the moment, but John Macera is there. He'll get it to the center ice, but taken over by Claudio Scremin now. Perron couldn't bust in, and finally it's driven in, but that's icing on Maine, as it was dumped in by Claudio on the other side of the red line. Good to see Guy Perron back out there after the broken wrist.
Guy wants to be a part of it. He's one of the leaders on this team. We're going to have a couple penalties. Johnny Macera and Shuchuk going off together. They were doing a little dance in there mid-ice. Got the sticks a little high.
2:16, 2 minutes each, high stick.
Well, I'm sure Sean Walsh will probably take that swap of players.
Wisconsin penalty to number 16, Gary Shuchuk. 2 minutes each for high sticking. That's 7.
And meanwhile, while they sit in the box, there's some action going on at the ice. That players are having words. 1-1 the score. And you can get a feeling that as the series goes on, these two teams get to hate each other a little bit more. There are a lot of things being said out there when the whistle blows.
Well, it's playoff hockey, and sometimes you don't hear that whistle. You want to keep going. You're running at such a high intensity level.
Face-off will come just inside the Badger zone. They'll quickly flip it over the blue line. Don Granado does that. Tony Granado is brothers in the NHL with the LA Kings.
Good friend of mine. Great person. It's interesting to watch Wisconsin, this Wisconsin team. They don't like to set up anything from behind the net. They come right down the slot area and you converge on the front of the net, where Maine sometimes likes to go down low and try setting up a play behind the net. You get a man behind the net with the puck and looking for that open man in front.
Maine buzzing that net with a couple of shots, one by Lalonde and one by Pellerin, but Dirksen was there. Pellerin tried to send in Roy, just didn't quite connect, and Rob Mendel takes over for Wisconsin. Wing to wing, he'll work it with McDonald, Doug McDonald, trying to make a move. The Badgers are in the middle of a line change, and so he'll rag it and just dump it in. Behind the net now, Maine defense working hard to try to clear it. Robitaille drops it back around. Claudio Scremin there, along with Christian Lalonde, but kept in by the Badgers for the moment. Finally, Maine will lug it out of there. It's Lalonde who'll fire it down, and Maine wants to make a line change. Now Rob Endringa. Endringa connects with Bice off the boards, but he can go nowhere against Keith Carney, who'll dump it in deep. Endringa again. Maine moves in hard to forecheck. Olsen goes down, intercepted by Carney. Good spin move by Keith, but Osicki is there to move it away.
Osicki, another blue-collar defense, and he just sits back there and eats his lunch and does the little simple plays. Not real flashy, but he gets the job done.
He's a great shot blocker. As a matter of fact, they said he had 13 blocked shots in the WCHA championship game. Now the Badgers working in front. Tansel's shot goes wide of King. Chris Tansel with a backhander that was close. Now Bice working hard to keep it in, but here comes Maine on the break. It's 2-on-1 shot. It hits the glove of Dirksen and went high of the net. Now Sulfi continues to buzz hard in front. Burke moves, knocked down in front by Hill. Burke is still in deep. He takes a crunch to the boards by Hill as a pair of sixes go at it. And finally, the Badgers clear it to the neutral zone. Good pressure by the Bears from that line of Barkley, Sulfi, and Belfay. We're coming up on the halfway mark here in the first period. It's Maine 1 and Wisconsin 1. Now the Bears make line changes again and will give up the puck in order to do that. Tepper almost intercepted there, had it in escape, but didn't quite see it in time. Now Hill gets rubbed up by Macera, but Hill regains control. Sean Hill connects with Tom Sagasser. He winds up, but is tipped by Scremin and goes into the crowd.
Geez, I don't like that.
We'll take a break in the action. 9:46. It's Maine 1, Wisconsin 1.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaky wooden doors, one door stands alone. The beautiful Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. Rugged fiberglass and solid insulating foam that looks just like wood, but stands up the blistering heat and biting cold for years. The great-looking, trouble-free Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. An open and shut case for greater home beauty.
Sela Valley Lumber, Sanford, Springvale, Wells, and Welch's Hardware, East Lebanon.
Welcome back to the Dane County Coliseum, Madison, Wisconsin, the capital of the state of Wisconsin, where hockey is king for the moment, and the Badgers are the talk of the town as they try to get back to the Final Four, and meanwhile, the Maine Black Bears will come in here and try to spoil the party.
Cheesehead country.
Yes.
They like their cheese here.
Saw a great bumper sticker yesterday traveling, says, "Welcome to Wisconsin, you're among friends." Well, I don't think there are many friends here tonight, or Maine people anyway. They love their hockey. They love their Badgers. Now Maine breaks away. It's Tomberlin trying to make a move on Snedden, but can't. Kept in, though, by the Bears on the blue line. Straub. Now Robitaille. He's knocked down on the play. In front, the puck is loose, but Tomberlin now gets a stick to it. Now it's lost away, and Snedden starts back. Wing to wing, he'll connect with Joe Decker. Decker tries to center it. It never really reached the shot of Brett Kurtz. Now the Bears start back as play kind of opens up a bit. We have played 11 minutes in this game. It's Maine 1 and Wisconsin 1. Remember, Badgers beat the Bears 7-3 last night. It is a must-win situation for Maine. Now here come the Bears up the right side. His flying was Roy for the moment, then lost the puck. Now Lalonde will fire it down. Will that be icing? Yes.
I'd like to take a minute and say hello to Joe Cosgrove. He's down in Waterville in the Thayer Clinic tonight.
Well, Coach Jeff Sauer, as we mentioned, in his 8th year, and here are his comments from last night. The first 10 minutes, very key. Well, certainly the first 30 seconds, very key tonight. And he thinks that maybe his speed surprised Maine a little bit, and yet Maine comes back with more size tonight. That's interesting, Scott.
Well, they feel they have to win the one-on-one battles, what they didn't last night, and a little added size never hurt. Never heard him before, so they might as well give it a shot.
If you're just joining us, Montgomery out with the game disqualification for the spearing call. Ryan Downey, the other freshman, Sean Walsh decided not to suit him up, and so Tepper and Widmeyer are in the lineup for the Bears. Now Osiki tried to connect with McDonald, but Olson is there all the way on the check. Good job by Randy Olson. Couldn't get around Andringa, though. Now he comes back in. Pellerin moves in. Olson gives a man a hit, but the Badgers can't clear the zone as of yet. Maine doing a good job keeping it in, and then finally the Badgers get it out. Here comes Granado. He's got Kurtz, moves in, shot. Oh, it just goes wide of the net. Close play there for Scott King. As Sean Hill drives it in from center ice, and the Badgers will make changes. Now Pellerin starts to move in, trying to go against Rob Mendel. To the boards they go. Richter and Barkley join in, but John Bice takes over. Drops it for Rawlick. They're onside. Bice trying to center that pass to Richter, but no play there. Back over, it jumps over the line, I thought, and it does. If the Badgers touch that puck, it'll be an offside call. Finally, it's cleared out of there. Now Hill just dumps it in on Scott King. Both teams make some more changes, though. Richter and Rawlick are there, and we're going to have a penalty. All right, we'll take a break in the action. The score is Maine 1 and Wisconsin 1, back in 30 seconds.
You're looking at four guys with two powerful passions. Desmond and Payne Insurance and University of Maine Hockey. But that's what you'd expect from four U of M grads. Lots of smarts and lots of loyalty. If you want to get the same kind of support with your insurance as these guys show their team, give them a call. But if you're going to call them during the game, you might want to wait till the next break. Desmond and Payne Insurance, backing you and the U of Maine all the way.
Back at the Dane County Coliseum, you see some of the numbers for each period. Very, very similar.
Things very even there. It's two pretty matched squads here.
Both teams with 33 wins on the year. By the way, that was not a penalty call. That was just a whistle for a pass with a high stick, and so it's still 5-on-5. All right, Justin Tomberlin, the freshman from Minnesota, playing outstanding hockey last night, back out there on the second line tonight for the Bears. He's out there with Martin Robitaille and Guy Perron. Now Tomberlin tried to get it back to a Robitaille, and he was on the move in, but it jumped over the stick. Now Robitaille brings it in over the line himself this time, wants to make a play, decides to go deep. Perron behind the net. There's the loose puck in front, but Tanzel will skate it out of there. He's got Shuchuk on the left, and he's got Sagasser on the right. He'll take a shot. Is stopped by King. A rebound cleared outside the zone, and this time we're going to have a penalty.
Gary Shuchuk came right through on that play and just blindsided Jimmy Burke. Vicious cross-check to Jimmy's head. If he isn't into the game, he's into it now. It's a good thing he didn't get to Scott King. Shuchuk goes right to the net. Here we can see it on the right side of the screen. Watch the Wisconsin player come right in the middle. Boom. Hello, Jimmy. Going to take a little break.
Boy, the Badgers have taken a lot of penalties here in this first period.
Well, you know, the sticks were high last night, and you had the so-called spearing incident with Jimmy Montgomery, so you almost have to figure they're going to come out and play real strong and aggressive. WCHA type play.
All right, the Bears on the power play now, and if that first goal was not a power play, it was certainly had the effect of a power play because the man had just got back on the ice and was out of the play, and so let's see what the Bears do this time. Here comes Roy, loses the handle, and it's driven down by Sneddon. Gary Shuchuk, by the way, is one of their best penalty killers, so it hurts the Badgers in more than one way. Here comes Burke. His shot blocked by Osiki. He was so good at that. Now Carney sets up the play in front, kicked away by Dirksen. To the corner, it'll go. Osiki gives his man a hit, tries to clear it, and does. Well, give Mark Osiki a big A for effort on that play. Now the Badgers change up on the defense. It'll go to the corner as Hill is on it. He'll take a whack at it, but can't clear the zone. Scremin keeps it into Roy. Now Olsen in front. Score! Johnny's Roy!
Well, there it is. That's how they've been scoring those goals all year. Randy Olsen just sets up behind the net. Good to have Randy Olsen back in the power play, and Jean-Yves they do a nice little give and go, and Jean-Yves just buries in the far corner. You can see Randy just pulls down. Jean-Yves breaks to the net, one-times it right past Derek. The Maine fans here are getting on their feet a little bit. Here we'll see the reverse angle. Jean-Yves broke the ice. You never know what's going to happen now.
It's his 39th goal of the year, and every time he scores, he adds to the single-season mark in Maine school history. He's already surpassed Dave Capuano, and the Bears have the lead for the first time in this series.
Not surprising, they had a man on Jean-Yves all night last night. They weren't giving him any room to breathe.
Now Belfay trying to break in, loses the puck. It goes to the corner. Trey Toomey is number 15. For the Badgers, and it's taken out of there by Don Granado. Now McDonald will just drive it in on King. The Bears with a lot of hop to the skate now. Now comes Belfay up the right side, wants to drop it, but it drops to a Badger, and that's number 15, Trey Toomey. Now Hill starts out as Maine makes changes. It's 2-1, the Bears with the lead. The shot goes all the way down. They wave off the icing call. Now kept in by the Badgers. Wallach is in there, along with Suchuk. Wallach, around it'll come. 2 men go down. McDonald is still out there. Finally, it's cleared out of there by Maine. At center ice, Lalonde will just dump it in the Badger zone. 4 minutes left in this first period of play. It's the Bears 2 and the Badgers 1. Guy Perron, he'll go down on the play. Rawlik, though, moves it in the zone and then gives up the puck to Carney. Keith just slides it ahead, but Hill intercepts for the Badgers and takes a crunch from Widmeyer. Now comes Massera. He'll move in, wants to work around the net, and does. John Massera driven to the boards by Rob Mendel. There's a glove off of somebody's hand, and we finally get a whistle. Massera winds up down on the ice after some really hard work.
I can't figure out why he blew that whistle. It must have been a hand pass. The puck was still moving.
Let's see. I think they are going to call the face-off outside the zone, so they say apparently
Johnny Massera working real hard here on the replay. You can see a few blatant punches by Mendel in the back of the head, then he pulls him down. Huh.
Give Olsen the assist on the goal from Roy on Maine's second goal. It's a power play goal. The Bears just want to get through tonight to get through tomorrow, or get to tomorrow, I should say, and have an anything can go third game. They just want to get through tonight if possible. Now Rawlik at center ice, and finally it's dumped in by Richter.
We're definitely seeing a different team than last night. Maine's finishing their checks, and when they finish their checks and play tight to the opposition, they play much better.
Now Maine starts back. It's Straub, moves it ahead. Tepper rather moves it ahead, but can't go anywhere. Now Percy Nelson's got some open ice. He'll tee it up, blocked down by Lalonde, and Nelson, after he fired that shot, went down to the ice. Now Nelson tipped in front, stopped by King, and he'll hold on. Number 25, Brett Kurtz, was right there with the tip.
Scotty King making the save and covering it up and taking a whistle. It's a smart play when you're playing on the road. You want to slow things down. One thing Sean stressed this week was he wanted the players to be in control at all times. And it almost looked like last night that they were thinking so much about staying in control and staying poised and not getting into the little confrontations after the whistle, that they came out a little tentative. Tonight it's the exact opposite. They're out and they're hitting, they're finishing their checks, a few after the whistle even, and they're playing much better. Control does not mean taking it easy. Controlled craziness, as I like to call it.
All right, it'll be Kurtz on the draw for the Badgers, along with Olson, is won by the Badgers. Snedden to the corner. Now it's ridden out of there by Maine. 2.5 minutes left in this first period of play. Intercepted by Olson. Can't move around the man Osiki, though. Continues to work hard. Maine continues to move in. Pellerin wants to move behind the net. The wraparound shot stopped by Dirksen on that corner, as Pellerin and Olson continued to work and work and work, and it almost paid off in a goal.
Well, Decker had the puck along the boards, and he was 2 feet from getting it out of the zone, but he tried making a fancy play, and Maine, just a tenacious forecheck they had right there. Scotty Pellerin knocks her down low and just out-muscled his man. Had a great scoring opportunity. Scotty took the puck from Decker and just, had control and tried to wrap around. Dirksen right on the spot.
It's Shuchuk and Barkley on the faceoff. Finally won by the Badgers as Hill behind the net. He's scrunched by 2 guys, and puck winds up in the net, and we'll have a whistle. Tied up right there on that back of the net.
You gotta love watching a player like Brian Belfay. He comes out, I mean, he's been a great asset for Maine for 4 years. It's gonna be tough to see him leave. He comes up every night, playing hard, finishing his checks, and he never worries about points or anything. He just plays the game. He just goes out and has fun, and things happen for him.
What a difference on that scoreboard, huh? From tonight to last night. At this time last night, it was 4-0 Badgers. Right now, it's 2-1 Black Bears. Shuchuk and Barkley again will face off. Won by Maine this time. SoFi wanted to get a shot off, couldn't quite pull the trigger. Dirksen will sweep it around to the open corner, and Hill is on it. He'll move it to center ice, trying to connect with Shuchuk. Barkley. Now there's a shot. It's just wide of Scott King as he stuck out the glove. Don't think it ever really hit the glove, though. Hill will just flip it up and send it in the zone. On it is Tanzel. He's ridden off the play. Comes back to Hill. He'll tee it up, knocked down in front. Bears will try to break back. At center ice, SoFi is tied up for the moment. It's driven in there. Dirksen will stop it to permit going any further. Tomberlin moves in deep, as does Robitaille. Robitaille, now Tomberlin sweeps it in front, but only Hill is there. That was a dangerous play for the moment. The Bears could not finish it off, though. Now the Badgers and the Bears make wholesale changes with 1 minute to go in this first period of play. Tomberlin moves in, but offside is Guy Perron on the left side. Well, the Badgers took an early lead, and it came just 27 seconds into the game. Steve Rolnick put one through the pads of Scott King, who will tell you he should have had that one. And the Bears, though, have come back with 2 goals, one by Randy Olson and one by Jean-Yves Roy.
We see a nice blast right off the crossbar. Scotty King had the angle cut down. If he didn't, that puck was in the net. Maine just playing a little neutral ice play. I don't think they were even in the neutral zone last night. I think they checked out.
Now Endringa will drive it into the open corner, but McDonald can't get to it. Only Bears are there for the moment. Granato tries to intercept, but instead it's Maine. Here comes Robitaille with a good move. His knockdown shot blocked down in front by Osiki, as he does that every time. Now Now McDonald will move it in, but that's offside, Wisconsin.
One of the goaltenders have good goals against. Osiki should be getting some credit there, I think.
They had 12 block shots last night, and I'll bet they've got 4 or 5 already.
You got to love a defenseman like that goes down in front of those shots. And for the fans that have never been hit with a puck, geez, it isn't much fun.
Well, Jeff Sauer came to the Badgers in the 82-83 season and promptly won a national championship his first year. And it has been a while since then, since he's been back to the Final Four, and folks around here are a little anxious for a Final Four visit and a national championship here, and he knows it.
Well, they got spoiled a little bit when Grant Stanbrook was here recruiting players. They had three championship teams, and fans tend to get a little spoiled.
You hear the crowd getting on the linesman to drop the puck, but he's not going to drop it until everybody's set, no matter what the crowd says. He throws the two centermen on the draw out. Olsen and Wallach take it. Olsen trying to gain control of the puck, and finally Carney will bring it in over the line. He's got a man there. Shot goes wide by Roy. Now Pellerin moves in to keep it in the zone. Behind the net, Roy couldn't gain control. Mendel back to the point, kept in by Maine, and now Mendel takes over. Up he'll come with Bice and couldn't connect with Richter as the period comes to an end here at the Dane County Coliseum. What a difference a night makes, though, as the Bears will skate off at the end of the first period with a 2-1 lead.
So you've been with your bank, what, 5, 10 years? They ever do anything special for you?
Please.
Fleet does, with a Fleet One account.
Now that renews my faith in banks. Well, one anyway.
And does your bank put all your accounts on one monthly statement? Fleet does, with a Fleet One account.
One statement with everything? I like that.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaky wooden doors, one door stands alone. The beautiful Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. Rugged fiberglass and solid insulating foam that looks just like wood, but stands up to blistering heat and biting cold for years. The great-looking, trouble-free Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. An open and shut case for greater home beauty.
See Molten Lumber, West Newfield, and Rufus Deering, Portland.
By sweeping the Bowling Green Falcons, the Black Bears of Maine advanced to the NCAA quarterfinals for the 4th consecutive season. In addition, Sean Walsh has been named Hockey East Coach of the Year, and the Bears have set new marks in home attendance, home wins, and goals in a single game. Tonight, they continue their quest for the national title. Good luck from Champion. It's perfect timing for a tune-up. Contact your local Champion spark plug supplier. Port Royal Export Premium Beer, imported and refrigerated ships. Maine, your ship is coming in soon. And Portland Percussion, Maine's percussion specialty shop. The best selection and the lowest prices.
Well, we're at intermission between the first and second periods of the Maine-Wisconsin game, NCAA Grade A. Black Bears tonight leading Wisconsin by the score of 2-1. The Bears fell into a trap last night when the Badgers pounded them 7-3. Wisconsin scored the first 5 goals, which was too much for Maine to overcome, although they did make a good run. It was not Matt Del Judas and goal's fault. He had no chance in the first 2 goals. Wisconsin puts a lot of pressure on Maine's defense and jumps out in front. Then a Gary Shuchuk goal with a blast from just inside the blue line. Maine was down 5-0, but made a run to get it 6-3. At that point, Maine just missed a couple of goals that could have made it real close. And then Wisconsin puts it away with a late goal on a breakaway. Watch the Wisconsin goalie fake the spearing, and Maine's Jim Montgomery, the high-scoring freshman, is out tonight because of that penalty goal, and that didn't make Sean Walsh very happy with the refereeing.
don't like it when hockey players fall to the ice like they're dead and they get shot by a 22 and they rise in about 10 seconds. That stinks. That's called diving, and that should not be in this game. That stinks as bad as Maine's lack of poise late in the game.
I wasn't acting at all. He could think what he wants. And he's trying to make a circus about the whole series here. He tries to get every edge he can, and that stuff happens in the game, and the referee's going to call it.
I am just sick that we don't have a 60-point score tomorrow night. I am just sick about it when the game's out of reach. Thank you.
There you see on the scoreboard last night's goal. Shuchuk with 2 goals and an assist. Wisconsin leads the series 1-0, but Maine leads the second game by the score of 2-1. Hockey East champion Boston College had better luck last night, stopping Minnesota's Golden Gophers 4-2. Playing at the beautiful Conti Forum, the Eagles lead 2-0, but Minnesota's Ten Jernander sets up Larry Olim to cut it to 2-1. But then it's Hobie Baker candidate Dave Emma with the short-handed blast. This one gives the Eagles a 3-1 lead. But Minnesota hangs tough. They forced goaltender Scott LeGrand, a big force again last night, into making 40 saves. But this time, Grant Bischoff is there for the rebound to bring the Golden Gophers within 1 at 3-2. But BC's 23 answers Minnesota's 22. Billy Guerin puts it away. Boston College, a 4-2 winner. They lead that best-of-3 game series 1-0. And there you see it on the scoreboard with a grand, sensational rookie making 40 saves as the Eagles jump into a lead in that series. Also last night, Michigan State over Boston University. Pat Murray and Kip Miller with a couple of goals apiece. The Spartans up on top there. Of course, the first game of the Colgate Lake Superior series. Dave Gagnon had 23 saves as the Red Raiders nipped Lake Superior State by the score of 4-3. Oh, I skipped Michigan State BU. No, I didn't. 4-3 win for Michigan State, and Michigan State leads that series. Colgate, a 3-2 winner over Lake Superior. Colgate leads that series 1-0. Well, a rocky start for the Black Bears as Wisconsin scores first in the first period. We'll be back with first period highlights and much, much more.
There are 2 ways to make cookies. Shaw's makes their cookies entirely from scratch. Other supermarkets make theirs from frozen dough. Shaw's uses wholesome scratch ingredients like flour, pure cookies. Other supermarkets use whatever it takes. Shaw's, quality naturally.
I'm Dick Aronson, president of Century Tire, and I know that a satisfied customer is our best advertising. Rachel Waning, a recent UMO graduate, knows she can count on us. And Ed Anderson of the Maine Mariners likes the professional attention we give. For brakes, shocks, mufflers, computerized alignments, complete car care. Come on in. We'll keep you rolling.
At Century Tire, we'll keep you rolling.
Well, a rocky start for the Black Bears tonight as Wisconsin scored in the first minute of play. But Maine steadied its ship, and we got ourselves a pretty good hockey game. Now, there were some expletives in our control room 28 seconds into the game. Just as a delayed penalty is called on Maine, Steve Rollick's shot trickles through Scott King for a 1-0 Badgers lead. But this time, Maine answers. Just as a Black Bears power play expires, Randy Olson fires it off a defenseman's skate, and we got a tied hockey game 1-1. Then Maine takes the lead. Jean-Yves Roy quieted the Dane County Coliseum crowd with a power play goal. It was Maine's first lead of this series, and that's the way the hockey game stands right now, 2-1 after the first period of play. Now on our scoreboard, we see the Black Bears leading 2-1. It wouldn't be bad if the series finished up that way too. Maine's got to keep it going right now. A loss tonight by Maine, and they are out of it, of course. Now elsewhere around the Great 8 playoffs tonight, 8 teams vying for the Final Four in hockey's playoffs. Minnesota and Boston College. Minnesota 1-0 lead on a Peterson goal at 15:27 of the first, and the Golden Gophers lead BC 1-0. Now, as we just told you, BC leads that series 1-0, so Minnesota trying to get it even. Michigan State, this program being produced by a Spartan. MSU scores at 1:02 into the first on a Brian Smolinski goal, and then BU ties it 23 seconds into the second on a power play goal by Phil Von Stefanelli. Stefanelli, Michigan State, leading that series 1-0, but Game 2 is tied. And Colgate, a 1-0 leader over Lake Superior State. They got it on a Steve Spot goal. A lot of goals being scored early in the periods tonight. 23 seconds into the second period comes that Spot goal as Colgate tries to complete a sweep of Lake Superior State. Well, with Jim Montgomery disqualified from tonight's game, the offensive burden falls even more on Jean-Yves Roy. Not too long ago, Roy was a volunteer firefighter with an uncertain hockey future. Now, he is the owner of the Maine record for goals by a freshman and a key to the Black Bears' success. Dave Ollis looks at this miracle man from Quebec, both on and off the ice.
No. Well, he may not be too handy with the computer putter, but Jean-Yves Roy has been the Black Bears' handiest with the lumber. The freshman right winger has netted 36 goals, including 7 big ones.
Now Montgomery, ahead to Kearney, 2-on-1 with Roy. He holds, shoots, scores!
I didn't think I would be an impact player or a key player this year. I was just happy to play, be in the lineup, and I practiced hard and I did what coach told me to do, and I guess it worked out pretty good for me.
Roy's 36 goals are a new freshman standard, and a total that may not soon be equaled. Add to that recent Hockey East All-Rookie and tournament honors. Pretty good for a guy who last July didn't know whether he was going to be a hockey player or a firefighter.
I was a volunteer firefighter at the Rosemary Fire Department, and I had an opportunity to be a permanent firefighter. And I really liked it. I said, I got to go for it. And I was just about to be hired by the city, and Grant recruited me. And I said to myself, you know, you're young, and you can still be a firefighter and later in your life, but you got to go to college and at least try it, because it's going to be there only once in your life.
Roy finds a lot of similarity between hockey and firefighting. Both require peak performance of mind and body. The rest is all intensity.
Yeah, you have to be really intense. You got to give good effort for a good period of time. And I don't know, it doesn't give the same reward, but I mean, being a firefighter is different, but I like it.
Assistant coach Grant Stanbrook recruited Roy out of the CJEP to AA Junior League in Quebec. He knew Roy could have an impact with the Black Bears.
Obviously, he was an outstanding skater, but I loved his intensity in the games. He's only 170 pounds, but he seemed to play it like he was 190. He went into the corners, full stride, and he had good hands, and he could shoot and score. He was leading the league in scoring. Pretty good combinations.
Stopping by for something.
Away from the ice, Roy is like any other college student. During school breaks, he spends time with his surrogate family. It's his home away from home.
So how do you feel?
Oh, great. Not nervous at all. How about you, Rick?
Not me.
Jean-Yves Roy appears to have achieved a balance between school and his personal life. Maybe that's why the hockey seems so easy.
I never played in front of 4,000 fans before, and I just loved it. It's real motivating.
It all started here in Great Works, just outside Old Town, with Percy O'Keefe's father and his partner some 78 years ago. They would mix up the flavors, all the good ones like root beer, birch beer, sarsaparilla, even cream sodas, bottle it up themselves. And for over 30 years now, Percy's been delivering S&OK soda all around Maine. For the good old-fashioned flavors, S&OK soda from Butterfield Bottling, a Maine native.
What's most important when you buy a car, the sale or the service? At Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, both are equal. They inspire customer satisfaction with low prices and 5-star rated quality service. From the Seacoast's largest selection of Caravans and Voyagers, you can take delivery of a Caravan for just $11,995 or a Grand Caravan for just $14,995. From sale to service, satisfaction keeps customers coming back. Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, Route 1 bypass.
Coming up on our second intermission, we'll update you on the NCAA hockey games being played tonight, and we'll have highlights of all kinds of sports action, including the Bruins and Celtics. Plus, we'll show you the Black Bear bowling team. That's all coming up during our second intermission, so stay tuned for second period action. Maine leads Wisconsin 2-1 after 1. Dale Duff and Scott Smith will be calling all the action from Madison, Wisconsin when we come back.
You're looking at 4 guys with 2 powerful passions. Desmond and Payne Insurance and University of Maine Hockey. But that's what you'd expect from 4 U of M grads. Lots of smarts and lots of loyalty. If you want to get the same kind of support with your insurance as these guys show their team, give them a call. But if you're going to call them during the game, you might want to wait till the next break. Desmond and Payne Insurance, backing you and the U of Maine all the way.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaky wooden doors, one door stands alone. The beautiful Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. Rugged fiberglass and solid insulating foam that looks just like wood, but stands up to blistering heat and biting cold for years. The great-looking, trouble-free Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. An open and shut case for greater home beauty.
See Swan Supply, Norway, and Brill Lumber Company, Bridgeton.
Hi, welcome back to the Dane County Coliseum, Madison, Wisconsin live, and the Black Bears lead the Badgers 2-1 after the first 20 minutes of play. And remember, it is must-win time for the Maine Black Bears, and Scott Smith, a much improved first period over last night.
Well, they're playing defense tonight. They're really helping out Scotty King, and they're playing strong in the neutral zone, which they didn't do last night, and it's working for them. They're getting the breaks, and they're being able to get the puck deep, which they have to do.
Shots on goal, well, shots attempted at least, pretty much even. The Bears attempted 16 shots, while Wisconsin attempted 14 shots. Shots saved by the goalie, well, Maine stopped 6 of them. Wisconsin stopped 5 of them. And the Badgers make their way back to the ice, and the crowd gets up and at it. But the Bears kept this big crowd in check with those 2 power play goals.
Well, just like last night in the third period, they got a couple goals and quieted things down here, and that's only going to help. I mean, you want 9,000 fans to sit on their hands, just keep scoring goals.
The Bears will hope to win tonight and then force a Game 3 tomorrow night, and we'll be on the air live at 8 o'clock if indeed a Game 3 is necessary. The scoring summary: Steve Rollick scored for the Badgers just 27 seconds into the game. Bice and Osiki got the goal, and Scott Smith, this is one that Scott King would like to have back.
Well, Scotty makes his stop on any other night, and first shot of the night, Rollick puts it right on net, and it just trickles through Scott, and I'm sure he would have liked to have that one back.
So the captain for the Badgers gets the goal, and they grab early momentum, but the Bears come back, and Randy Olson, who did not play last weekend against Bowling Green because of the shoulder injury, is back this weekend, and he's back on the power play, and that is good news for the Bears.
That was great. Randy just picked up the puck and let a blast go, and it went right off of the defenseman's skate. Roger Sykes, you'll see in the left part of your screen, lets a blast go, and it just deflects off Sykes' skate and in the net. A nice break for Maine, and one they deserve. They haven't gotten any so far this weekend.
All right, and that got the score tied at 1-1, and then a little bit later on another penalty to Gary Suchek. And by the way, the Bears have scored on both Suchek penalties, and this one by Jean-Yves Roy, and give Olson an assist.
Well, it's good to have Randy Olson back in the lineup. We miss him at Bowling Green, but him and Jean-Yves have been doing this all year. Just a little give and go, and no one picks up Jean-Yves, and boom, the puck's in the net.
And so it is a 2-1 score after 2 periods of play. And most of the Maine players and coaches said after last night's game, if they can just get the puck on goal and get it on Dirksen, they felt that he was a bit shaky.
Well, they didn't test him at all in the first 2 periods, and once they started testing him and getting some action around in front of him, you know, things caved in a little bit on him. Not enough, of course, to win the game, but enough to send a message to the Wisconsin players that the Maine team is here to play hockey, whether they took the first 2 periods off or not. And so far this first period, they've showed what Maine's all about.
And so Dirksen comes up with 6 saves on the period. And meanwhile, for the Maine Black Bears,
it's interesting, this band here playing, sometimes they hang those trombones over the net, over the glass, and one year one of the Minnesota players went right down the boards and knocked all the trombones right off onto the ice.
At practice the other day, Sean Walsh was out there demonstrating exactly what happened. There was a funny scene, and I don't think they don't stick those trombones over the glass anymore, right?
I don't think they like that too much in Wisconsin. Scott King with a good first period, other than the one shaky goal, but we'll let him have one.
All right, and so the Bears begin play with a 2-1 lead. It's 5-on-5 to begin this period. All right, the puck flips in on King at center ice, and he'll decide to just hold it right there and take a face-off.
You know, fans might say, why take a whistle like that? Well, you're playing on the road, and one thing you want to do on the road, as we mentioned in the first period, is slow things down. Take a few whistles, let your team get revamped and reorganized, and just start from a face-off.
Rollick and Olsen on the draw, won by the Badgers, swept around the dasher. Rollick can't get to it. The Bears do first. Straub to Carney. Now around the boards, Roy sends Pellerin through the center ice area. Now Olsen, the shot saved by Dirksen. It goes into the glove or up over. I can't see down that end.
We're so high up here and far down, it's tough to tell.
Now we're told it went over and actually wound up in the screen up over the glass.
One of our camera people are from Maine. She's from Belmont, Maine.
I think that's what she said. Yeah,
Belmont, Maine.
Which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's around. No, I was going to say.
No, she's a maniac. We'll just leave it at that.
I was going to say Belmont was around the Belfast Searsmont from Troy, Maine. Okay, Troy, Maine. Right around the Unity, Maine area and down around that area.
She's taking her life in her hands wearing that Maine stuff here.
Yeah. On the way from Bangor to Belfast. How about that?
Our producer last night was I don't know, what could you say? Paul had a Maine hat on, and the fans were all over him. He almost didn't make it through the arena without losing his life. These fans remind me of the Boston College fans, if that sends a message to any of the people back home.
They love their hockey, they're serious about their hockey, and they think their hockey team is very, very good, which it is. Crowd on the linesman again saying to drop the puck. It's Tepper there taking the draw for Maine. And he won't drop it yet. Now he throws Tepper out. And let's see, Masser will step in and take it for Maine.
Trying to get things organized. Last night, the players would be set, and all they need is a split second for both players to be down. The opposing team has to put a stick down first, and then the home team comes in. Then they're supposed to drop the puck on the instant the sticks are on the ice. These linemen are really being picky about it.
All right, now Widmeyer will take the draw with Shuchuk, and the linesman comes over and talks to Tom Sagasor. Says, I want you behind that line. Oh, he's also talking to number 17, Rob Mendel. And
those linemen feel out of it sometimes. They don't get to call any penalties unless it's a blatant one, and they'd like to take a little charge.
Now Widmeyer goes to the corner, is hit by 2 men, and the puck comes to the Badgers. Here comes Shuchuk, rather. His shot stopped by King. You hear the crunch on the boards as Lalonde and Scrimmin tie his man up, and
Steve Tepper is going to take a 2-minute rest. Interference on Saginaw. They both come in behind the net, and Stevie just ran him into the boards a little bit.
And so the Badgers will be on the power play.
Him and Tom Sagasaw have been jawing back and forth to each other all night.
Sean Wall sends out Robitaille and Pellerin along with Scremin and Carney to kill off the penalty. Shuchuk is out there with Rollick and Sagasur. King sticks it away just in the nick of time. On it, though, is Shuchuk. Scremin blocks that pass, but now here's Sagasur. Intercepted by Pellerin, and he'll take it up through the neutral zone. Now he'll decide to kill some time and then go on the offense. Scott Pellerin wants to move in, goes around behind the net, gets crunched and has to give up the puck, but Robitaille is there. Remember, Maine is shorthanded, and they're killing off some valuable seconds. Now Sagasur goes to the boards to take over the puck, and here come the Badgers. This is Shuchuk trying to work his way around two men, but good defense by Maine. Now a partial breakout as Sagasur could not get the puck. It'll be icing. If he could have gotten a stick to it, he may have had a breakaway. Instead, it's icing, and the faceoff will come back down in the other end.
Kent Solflad was breaking down. He was going to catch him. He was right on him, Dale.
All right. Well, Maine has had a very, very good penalty killing unit all year long.
Some nice percentages, 84%.
Bears can also score on the shorthanded situation. 15 goals shorthanded by Maine this year. A minute 10 left on the penalty to Tepper. Through center ice, Hill can't go anywhere, and he'll have to go back and get it. Good play by Sulfi, and he'll come off, and Belfay will come on. Quick changes for Maine on this penalty-killing unit. Now the Badgers will drive it in. McDonald does it. King can't stop it from going around the dasher, but Burke is there. Tanzel takes him in, as does Bice, but it's freed to Roy. Now he'll come out with Lalonde. Lalonde fakes the shot, moves in. Now Roy's shot stopped by Dirksen, who had to be quick there. Roy was so tricky. Now back break the Badgers. Kurtz can't connect. Man goes down for Wisconsin, and the puck jumps back to the center ice area and down in the main zone. Hill tries to ride a man off the puck as the Bears put pressure on a shorthanded situation. 10 seconds left on the penalty to Tepper. In breaks the Badgers, and the puck winds up in the crowd as Tanzel was on a break, but the Maine defense got a hold of the puck, and it wound up in the crowd.
Maine with a great kill here so far. They haven't let Wisconsin get set up or even really get out of their zone with any great control. Forcing the play. They're taking the play to Wisconsin instead of the other way around as it happened last night, and they're being very successful by doing that.
6 seconds now left on the penalty to Tepper, and the Bears will have successfully killed off this penalty. Fired in by Osiki. Stopped smartly by King. Macera kicks it out to the neutral zone. Tepper wants to get to it. He's in a foot race with Endringa. They go crashing to the boards. Now the puck is centered, and they'll come back and jump over the blue line. Straub is on it, though, for the Bears. He'll just drive it back into the corner. Tepper goes after it, makes a move, and Endringa is on him. Now Osiki joins in, as does Joe Decker. Maine wants to center it, but he back-break the Badgers. Wing to wing, they can't connect, and Maine will take over. It's Steve Widmeyer. Now Snedden tries to move. Dangerous pass cleared in front by Straub, but it works to Macera off the boards, and he'll dump it in. Maine will change. We've played 3.5 minutes here in period number 2. The Bears with a 2-1 lead. Shot in front is bouncing. Back to the point, it'll come. Lalonde's shot knocked down in front and winds up into the corner and is cleared out of there by the Badgers. Maine definitely controlling the flow at this juncture. Now Robitaille. Moves in. Shot goes wide of Dirksen. On it now is Tomlin. He'll center it in front, but the Badgers knock it down. Robitaille's shot is blocked down in front, and it's just cleared away. Heavy pressure by the Bears, and the Badgers are called for icing. We'll take a break in the action. The score, Maine 2, Wisconsin 1.
At Century Tire, we know that customer satisfaction is our best advertising. Les Otten of Sunday River likes our prices and service. Rachel Waning, a young woman just out of UMO, knows she can count on us. And Ed Anderson of the Maine Mariners knows a winning team when he sees one. For complete car care and great service, come on in. We'll keep you rolling.
At Century Tire, we'll keep you rolling.
Hi, welcome back to Madison, Wisconsin. You see the quote of Sean Walsh. Some heavy words there fired off by Sean Walsh in that controversial play last night. And
Sean could never say something flashy like that.
He was not happy, and it's one of those situations again where I'm sure at this stage that he wishes he had not said it, probably. Now Straub dumps it in deep. The Bears with some heavy pressure in the last couple of moments. The puck jumps in front there, but the Badgers gain control. Granado sends it away to center ice, and here comes a shot. Goes wide by McDonald of Scott King, and it jumps all the way back to center ice. Now the pass. McDonald winds up back behind Dirksen. Behind the net, Maine working hard. A wraparound shot in front, knocked down as the Bears almost had number 3. Now back break the Badgers. McDonald wants to move. He takes a flying jump, and his stick winds up about 20 feet away from him. And now it's Toomey. Trey Toomey connects with Granado. He'll try to move in. Can't go around Straub. To the corner he'll go. Straub joins him again. Bryan wants to pin him there, and does, and Barkley takes over. Ahead to Pellerin, and wing to wing he'll connect with Sulfy. Kent will bust in. He's ridden off the play. Loose puck stopped by Dirksen on the shot by Maine, and the Badgers regain control. This is Gary Suchuk trying to move in, and does. Behind the net, he'll center it, but King is there, and we've got a penalty coming up on Maine. As Gary Suchuk is their offensive power man, one of them anyway. And let's see who it is. Now we're told that it's going to be an interference call in the slot. Let's see. I don't see either door open yet. And it'll be Barkley. There's how close the Bears.
Oh, he's putting great pressure on there. Just couldn't buy one.
So the call is on Mike Barkley. The call is interference.
That play happened in front of the net. Everyone was watching Suchuk, and Mike Barkley just picks up his man and knocked him down in front.
All right, Tanzel has it jump over his stick. Claudio Scrimmin is there to hit him hard. Tanzel, though, gets the puck. Now Bice to Tanzel. Carney working him over on the boards. Tanzel goes down. The puck remains in the zone for the moment, and it's a free-for-all to see who can gain control. Richter does. He'll move into the corner. On him now is Scrimmin and Carney, and he'll sweep it around the dasher, but not out. Hill keeps it in. Sagasser in front. There's a shot knocked down in front. Tanzel, loose puck, and it's still loose. Jumps out in front. There's a shot. It's fired on by Richter that went high and wide. Bice is there for the Badgers. He'll go around the net and wants to center it. There's a shot tipped down in front, and it lands up underneath Scott King for the save.
They don't mind giving Scott King those shots, those outer perimeter shots, because, you know, Scotty's been good at that all year, and he can pick up, even in traffic. He really can watch the puck and pick up his shot. A couple great opportunities here by Wisconsin, though. You can see, watch a man in the high slot come down and pick up his man here. This is the other play. You just see a blast. Boy, that was deflected, and Scotty with great concentration, great individual effort. Keith Carney caught that puck. Tried knocking it down and instead put a nice little tip on Scotty. Probably doesn't really appreciate that.
Well, Scott King has been a 4-year player for the Bears, and he's been a good one. He'll walk away with every record at Maine for goaltenders. And right about now, he wants to do a little equipment repair.
One big thing about Scotty is such great concentration in traffic. There can be 3 or 4 players laying around, laying on top of him, and you just watch him, and he has such great concentration on the puck.
And while we have a stoppage in play, we want to say congratulations to Bill Green and his wife Pam on the birth of their second child, Emily, 8 pounds 7 ounces. We're told on Thursday night. Congratulations, Bill and Pam.
Congratulations from Mr. Smith and Mr. Duff.
Live from Madison, Wisconsin, where the Bears are doing all right. They're on the power play right now and need to kill. Rawlik behind the net. Shuchuk tried to center it. Sagasur is there. Works the play back to the point in front. Rawlik tried to tip. It was knocked down in front and cleared by Maine. Great passing by the Badgers, but the Bears came up big when they had to. Now 45 seconds left on the penalty to Barkley. Back come the Badgers one more time. Sagasur over the line to Shuchuk. Tries to center it, but Straub is there. Can't clear the zone, though. Now Rawlik holds and holds. Wants to make a play. Dumps it in deep. Sagasur and Burke go after it. Now it's joined by Shuchuk. Puck is loose, and King will hang on to it right on that corner. The puck kind of just floated to that corner. It really wasn't a pass. And King quickly snuffed it with the glove.
Maine winning the one-on-one battles along the boards. Just great to see him playing like this. This is how they play up at the Alphon. No one wins those battles.
And it's safe to say that this was not the case last night. It's so nice to see them play like they can tonight after last night's performance.
Totally different team.
It really is. 12 minutes and 46 seconds left in this second period of play. 22 seconds now left, 23 seconds left on the power play to Barkley. The draw is won by the Badgers. Shot on. King holds on. As he lost sight of the puck for the moment.
One thing to watch on this power play with Wisconsin, they move the puck so well, and if Maine gets too aggressive on their kill, it's going to open somebody up, and they're going to have some good scoring opportunities here. Wisconsin really moves the puck quick. You can tell that they practice this power play a lot, because a lot of times they pass and they don't even know where the man is, but it's right on his stick. Sean Hill with a nice blast. Scotty loses it for a second, but holds on.
49 points this year by Hill. He's a high-scoring defenseman, and you can see why. Now Scremin and McDonald tangle off to the side a bit as the whistle blows again. 18 seconds left on the Barkley penalty. Back it'll come. Hill tees it up again. It's sticked away by King and winds up in the crowd. Now King is 2 for 2 on that play against Sean Hill. Same play, same shot, same result.
Doug McDonald with a good draw here. Nope, that's Tansel.
Tansel and Robitaille now on this important draw. Won again by the Badgers. This time, though, knocked down, kept in by McDonald. Back to the point. Hill just sweeps it in deep. Tansel can't have it. He jumps over his stick. Around the dasher it'll go. Sulfide tries but can't knock it out. There's a centering pass, but no Badger is there, and Robitaille finally sweeps it out. Barkley is now out of the box. It's full-strength Maine. Important penalty kill for the Bears right there. Now Barkley intercepts in front. Tried to connect with Sulfide, who couldn't get a stick on it. Now back come the Badgers. Tansel wants to move around a man. It winds up in King's glove, and he'll hold it. We'll take a break in the action. It's Maine 2, Wisconsin 1, and we'll come back to Madison after this timeout.
Minnesota has defeated Boston College.
When When you think of conversion vans, you naturally think of Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge. They are the largest Roman wheels dealer in the country, with over 50 always in stock. Like this unit delivered for just $14,995 and backed by our award-winning 5-star service department. High-quality conversions at the lowest prices have made Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge #1. From sale to service, satisfaction keeps customers coming back. Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, Route 1 bypass.
All right, Sean Walsh trying to get his Bears to a third and deciding game in this quarterfinal NCAA series. The winner of this series marches to Joe Louis Arena for next weekend's Final Four. Kept in by Andringa behind the net. King is out of the net, but it's only Maine players with the puck. Roy ahead to Olson. He'll dump it in, but knocked down in front by Andringa. He'll try to send away a man, but can't. Now Straub will dump it back in. Andringa is on it for the Badgers. It is a team filled with juniors and seniors. The Bears, of course, loaded with freshmen and sophomores. Now it's Carney, speaking of sophomores, starts up the left side. Trying to make a play with Pellerin. Pellerin loses control of the puck, and Joe Decker takes over for Wisconsin. Maine wants to make changes. Now ahead it'll come to Sneddon. Rubbed to the boards by Burke, but Decker is there. Lalonde gives him a shove, and Tepper takes over. To center ice it'll come, and the Wisconsin regains control. It's dumped back in by Nelson. Now the Badgers want to change. Burke at center can't quite connect with Tepper, and the Badgers come back. Shuchuk wants to go around Lalonde, and Christian says, not this time you don't. They drive it down, and that'll be an icing.
Jimmy Burke's been playing a great game so far tonight. He's really been taking the body and standing the Wisconsin players up at the blue line and making them dump or making them make that tough pass right on the blue line. Jimmy's playing real well tonight so far.
Well, we're nearing the halfway mark in this game, and you see the numbers. The Bears over the Badgers 2-1. And we just received word a couple of moments ago that Minnesota has beaten Boston College 2-1, right, on that final score. And so that series between the Gophers and the Eagles now tied at 1 game apiece.
That's a scary stat.
Well, Wisconsin has an overall great record at home, 19-3-1 this year. They are as tough at home as the Maine Black Bears are at Alphon. There's a shot wide of Scott King by Kurtz. Now behind the net, it's Shuchuk and Tanzel. After it they go, trying to move it. Tanzel comes away with it. Chris Tanzel, centering pass, blocked by Carney, though, as Sagerser couldn't get a shot off. Now back they come. Perron can't gain control. Belfay moves it in and then takes a hit from Tanzel. Puck is loose there on the side, and finally the Badgers regain control. Now back break Wisconsin. Tanzel, Shuchuk holds, shoots, and knocked down in front, and they get the whistle finally. As the puck actually hit a Maine defenseman, I think.
Well, Guy Perron was back playing D, and Shuchuk just pulls that puck up and takes a shot. You'll see the pass. He just walks right out around, and you'll see Guy on the upper right-hand screen there. Goes off King, and Guy just says, hey, I gotta do something here.
That's Tomberlin, I think, 12, isn't it? Or is that Guy? And one thing we should point out, as we've mentioned on these wraparound shots, they're 3 more feet, right? 3 feet extra behind the net at this rink, and it makes a difference, doesn't it? We've seen a lot of wraparounds.
Got a lot of room, and they can, use that extra added 3 feet to make better plays. Tomlin really didn't know what to do with that puck. It landed right at his feet, so he tried just shoving it over to Scott. I've seen a few guys put goals in like that. You want to just get it to the goaltender, because if you pull it in yourself, you're going to get a delay a game penalty.
A pair of 9s on the draw. Finally won by Olson, but he can't clear the zone. Now Scremin intercepts and does get it over the blue line. Here comes Randy Olson for the Bears. Drops it off for Rua. His poke checked by the Badgers. Straub knocks it in. It goes wide of Dirksen. Olson just dumps it in deep, does Pellerin. Now Roy and Wallach meet along the boards. A little how do you do there. Now Pellerin trying to make a play. He has the puck. Behind the net it'll go. Roy back to Scrimmin, who moves in, blocked down in front by the Badgers. Maine with heavy pressure though. Roy knocked down. Penalty coming up on Wisconsin.
John Bryce saw Jean-Yves going right to the net. He had to pull him down.
Well, this line of Olson and Pellerin and Roy has dominated play so far.
Well, you don't let a near 40-goal scorer walk right down the slot on your goaltender untouched. He had to pull him down. You see Jean-Yves gets good control, and hey, this puck could be in the net, so he just gives him a little tug. Don't think that the Badgers don't know about Jean-Yves. If they didn't last night, they sure do tonight.
And so for the Bears, it's Robitaille out there with Tomberlin and Tepper, along with Scrimmin and Straub to begin this power play at least. It comes at the 9:11 mark here in the second period. Ryan Straub now in deep. Scrimmin and Straub tees it up. It's knocked down in front. Puck is loose and the Badgers clear. Shuchuk gives a man a hit, but Robitaille takes over at center ice, tries to connect with both Tomberlin and Tepper, but couldn't do it. It'll come back and King will try to send him away. Wisconsin on a line change. Tomberlin dumps it in. Robitaille goes after it. Martin squeezed to the corner by Snedden, and the Badgers will take over. Now Kurtz drops it off for Snedden. He'll tee it up, stopped by King, and he'll hold on. King had that angle played perfectly and snubbed Snedden. Say that 3 times fast.
Snedden with a nice hard blast on Scott, but you'll see how far he's out of the net. He's almost to the right to the circle. There isn't much net to shoot at when a goaltender comes out that far. Dennis Snedden.
He's a junior from Wisconsin, Eagle River, Wisconsin.
Big hockey town up in Wisconsin, Eagle River. There he is, Mr. Durable. Martin Robitaille taking a pounding.
And that was Snedden who did that. And Snedden got up and then went on offense. Face-off comes to the right of Scott King. It's won by Maine, and Carney starts it away. Roy is out there with Olson and Pellerin now on the power play. Roy has it, drives it in deep, but Hill is on it first. He'll try to get it out through the zone and can't. Now Maine keeps it in. It's Randy Olson trying to make a play. Roy back to Olson. They go. Shot, score! Power play goal, Maine.
Just the reverse of the goal in the first period. Another little give and go down low. Randy Olson to Jean-Yves, and right back, it's in the net. Scott Pellerin right in front, causing all kinds of havoc. Real important play there. You saw Randy Olson stick right on the ice. Hardly even touched the puck. He just redirected it in. He would have never have done it if his stick wouldn't have been on the ice. We'll see the reverse angle.
And that's something. Both Pellerin and Olson were camped out right there. And the goal is by Olson. It's his 17th goal of the year. It's his second one of the night. His second power play goal of the night. And the Bears with a 3-1 lead.
It's funny, too. All 3 of those goals have been on the low stick side of Dirksen.
Now it's knocked in, and we've got a whistle for an offside play, I guess. So Randy Olson has a big night. He did not have a terribly good night last night, but he comes back in fine fashion tonight. And Jeff Sauer has a sour look to his face for the moment, as Sean Walsh simply said today, let's get to a third game and see what happens. And right now, the Bears with a 3-1 lead. McDonald drives it in. Belfay and Barkley finally connect to move it outside the zone. Intercepted now, Sulfi. Dirksen comes out of the net to kick it to the corner. Maine with some heavy pressure now, and you can feel the momentum with the Bears, and this 8,000-seat Coliseum is very quiet for the moment.
Heavy hit just laid by Brian Belfay.
Now knocked in by Mendel to the open corner, and King will play it first. Sweep it around to Scremin, who will sweep it around the dasher, and Barkley will start back. He's got Belfay, and at center ice he'll drive it in, and Maine wants the change. 7 minutes left in period 2. The Bears lead the Badgers 3-1. Now a poke check by Straub, nicely done, and the Bears start back. Hip check given on Widmeyer by number 24, Osiki there, and Steve went down, but got right back up. Now Osiki waits to set up the play behind his net. Mendel moves through center ice, drives it into the open corner, and now the Badgers will change. In deep goes Tanzel, but Carney is with the puck. Now Massera headmans it to Widmeyer, trying to go around a man. Now Tepper. Steve shoots, stop down in front. Net comes off its mooring, and we've got a whistle.
Big comparison tonight from last night. Maine is just, they've been taking the play to Wisconsin. By doing that, they've been finishing their checks all over the ice. They've been playing great defense. They've been taking the puck in their defensive zone, and instead of just throwing it up the boards or looking, for the long pass, they're making short little passes, and they're using their speed and their quickness to beat Wisconsin to the puck, and they beat Wisconsin with the puck. The big difference is that they're into the game tonight. Yeah. Last night it seemed very tentative. Tonight they're taking it right to them.
And for the first 30 seconds after they gave up that early goal, you had an immediate feeling of, oh no, here we go again. But from that point on, it's just really been all Bears.
Well, they tightened up their chin straps and went to work. And that's what this team has done all year.
Osiki behind the net takes a wrap from Tomberlin. The Badgers will start back. Shuchek drives it in. Tanzel is there, rubbed to the boards by Lalonde. Burke is there as well, but Shuchuk has it. Now he takes a hit from Robitaille. Contains the puck, though. Now it's Guy Perron. Up ahead to Tomberlin, who'll leave it back for Guy. Perron wants to make the pass back, but can't. Tomberlin goes to the corner now. Sagasor is on him. Shuchuk goes down. Robitaille working hard behind the net. Now Tomberlin joins in as well. Now Tomberlin tries to center it, intercepted by the Badgers. Justin's really working hard this weekend, isn't he? Now breaks in the Badgers. Sagasor in front, shot knocked down in front by King. Score! On the rebound, Gary Shuchuk.
You can see on the replay, Shuchuk just does relentless. They get a shot. Scott King with unbelievable save, and puck comes right out to their leading goal scorer in the league, and boom, it's in the net. Real tough problem there. All Maine's forwards were caught down low, so actually it was a 4-on-2. And Scott King comes up with the initial save. You see it right there, and
can't ask Scott to do any more there. And it's too bad for the Bears as Shuchuk gets the goal. And for Shuchuk, it is goal number 40 on the year. How about that? And listen to the crowd. This is what happens when the Badgers score.
Little do they know that they have a pretty tough kid in between the pipes for Maine.
You can best believe Scott King doesn't hear a word. But anyway, it's a tough break for the Bears because Tomberlin and his line worked so hard at the other end.
Oh, Martin Robitaille, one of the defensemen, had him in a bear hug. Tomberlin was being held. They couldn't get back. It was a 4-on-2.
And so the score is now 3-2. Black Bears over the Badgers. Just over 5 minutes left in this second period of play, and momentum has shifted back the other way now. What a great hockey game in a must-win situation for the Bears. Mendel does a good job to keep it in for the Badgers. Now the action is really hot and heavy as pushing and shoving and bumping everywhere. At center ice, driven in by Wisconsin, and the Bears will go back and get it. Now it's Scremin. He'll bank it around, but Straub can't keep it in. Hill will tee it up, knocked down in front. Shot by Kurtz goes to the open corner, deflected. Kurtz moves in to keep it there, but it's not cleared out. Finally, it is by Roy. He can't make a move, though, and it's cleared back by Mendel. Now Roy just dumps it in, and Maine will make changes. There's a breakaway coming up for Rawlik, but Burke comes back and gets him to go down. And good play by Jim Burke to snuff that out. Belfay connects with Barkley, in over the line. He'll come, wants to center it. It's tipped high over the net. Close play for Maine. Centered again in front. The puck is loose and skated out by the Badgers. Now Burke has to wait for the line mates to clear the zone and finally dumps it in. Maine with another golden opportunity there, and it puck jumped over the net. Rolnick does a nice job to avoid a Belfay check there. And now Sean Hill will gain control for Wisconsin. He tries to send away Bice, but can't do it. Intercepted by Maine at center ice, and Belfay drives it in. Tepper tries to make a move against Sykes. They go to the corner now. Two other players join in. Intercepted by Tepper. His shot blocked down in front by Hill. Bears with the pressure. Wallach takes a man heavy to the boards. Hill does the same thing. It's Widmeyer working hard against Steve Rawlik. A pair of Steves going at it there, and they will not blow that whistle. The puck continued to move. Finally, Widmeyer wins the battle. Now Hill comes in and gives him a shove. How about that? Rawlik gives a man a shove, and it is getting very physical.
This is why that line is suited up tonight, to do the heavy hitting along the boards, and that shift shows why they were out there.
Now Lalonde wants to send a man away as both lines change up on the play. Widmeyer is still out there with Massera. Now Maine, Widmeyer goes off. Southfly connects with a man on a check. It is Rawlik, Nelson, number 8. Finally, the Badgers regain control. Now they come down through the ice. Snedden is there, McDonald, Granado. Can't make a play. Robitaille wants to clear, can't do it. Kept in by the Badgers. Knocked down in front by Lalonde, but not out. Now McDonald, back it'll come. In front, King holds on for the save. There's a break in the action, and we'll come back to Madison after this 30-second timeout.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaky wooden doors, one door stands alone. The beautiful Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. Rugged fiberglass and solid insulating foam that looks just like wood, but stands up in blistering heat and biting cold for years. The great-looking, trouble-free Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. An open and shut case for greater home beauty.
See Kents Hill Lumber, Kents Hill, and Pineland Lumber, Lewiston.
Back at Madison, Wisconsin, the Dane County Coliseum is up and rocking because we've got great hockey action. The Bears and the Badgers. The Bears have this lead in this game 3-2. And if you're just joining us and didn't hear about last night, the Badgers won 7-3. Shot on, King made the save. It popped up into the air, and Roy clears. But we're going to get a hand pass on Maine, and so the faceoff will come back inside the zone. King had that shot pop in the air. He lost sight of it.
Maine's definitely got to start winning some draws because they're getting beat on these draws, and Wisconsin's having great opportunities. Nice hard blast from the point. Their defensemen shoot it low, and it's usually a lot of rebounds.
In front, the puck squirts to Roy. Tanzel works hard to keep it in, but Carney regains and sends it to center ice. Now Scott Pellerin. He'll tee it up, but it's blocked down in front by Osiki. He makes a career out of doing that. Now in breaks the Badgers. Poke check by Scremin. Good job by Claudio on that play on Tanzel. To the corner they go. Shuchuk is there as well, but Claudio moves the puck out. Driven back in by the Badgers. They want to make another line change. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this second period of play. Olsen is out there with Roy and Belfay. The Badgers will take over. Belfay will get off, or check that, Olsen will get off for the moment. Now here come the Badgers. In comes Sagasor. He's trying to move it in front. Knocked off the play by Straub. Out by Belfay, and he may have a breakaway. Brian Belfay moves in. Shot. It hits the post. Belfay continues to work hard in the corner. Puck is loose. A man goes down for Maine. And finally, the Badgers clear the zone. No, they don't. Belfay keeps it in. Knocked down in front. And finally, it comes back to Straub. He'll just fire it around the dasher, and Dirksen is there. Now the Badgers will simply ice it.
Good chance by Brian Belfay. Dirksen with a nice glove hand save. Brian saw a little bit of open upstairs or over his glove hand, and he went for it. Dirksen came up with the glove save. Brian would probably like to have that one over.
Well, from this angle, it looked like it hit the post, but look at it. Oh, wow.
Goaltenders keep those gloves down, and it just looks like you have so much room there to go upstairs, and that's what Brian saw, and he went for it. Dirksen was playing head games with him.
From where we are at the far end of the ice, we were looking straight at it. Looked like it hit the post there for a minute, but Dwayne Dirksen, give him credit. He made the glove stop, and for that moment at least, the puck did stop there with Dirksen. 21 seconds left on the scoreboard clock in this second period of play. Scremin just sweeps it in front. That puck is loose for the moment, but the Badgers come away. At center ice, trying to make out a breakaway, and Shuchuk does, but he has to make a spin move. In front, knocked down by Scremin, and outside the zone. Oh, dangerous play there, and the period comes to an end in fast and furious fashion. And so, at the end of 2 periods of play, it's Maine 3 and Wisconsin 2, and we'll come back after this timeout.
I'm Dick Aronson, president of Century Tire, and I know that a satisfied customer is our best advertising. Rachel Waning, a recent UMO graduate, knows she can count on us. And Ed Anderson of the Maine Mariners likes the professional attention we give. For brakes, shocks, mufflers, computerized alignments, complete car care. Come on in. We'll keep you rolling.
At Century Tire, we'll keep you rolling.
It all started here in Great Works, just outside Old Town, with Percy O'Keefe's father and his partner some 78 years ago. They would mix up the flavors, all the good ones like root beer, birch beer, sarsaparilla, even cream sodas, bottle it up themselves. And for over 30 years now, Percy's been delivering S&OK soda all around Maine. For the good old-fashioned flavors, S&OK soda from Butterfield Bottling, a Maine native.
Back in Madison, Wisconsin, as the teams skated off the ice, there were a few verbal exchanges there between Scott King and Gary Shuchuk.
Well, everybody was off the ice for Maine, and Shuchuk came back and had a little word for Scotty, so he gave him a little piece of his mind. And Matty Del Judas even jumped in there and tried getting involved. And goaltenders, they like to get involved.
You get the feeling, though, that there is still some bad feeling between the Badger players as a result of what happened last night with that spearing, or alleged spearing, whatever you want to call it, from last night. But anyway, at this point, the Bears have a 3-2 lead after 2 periods of play. It was a good period for the Bears, and it was a tough goal to give up. The Bears actually had a 3-1 lead, but it was a tough goal to give up because they had the pressure on. Tomberlin and Robitaille worked so hard down at the other end, but then they came back. Wisconsin came back and got a goal by Shuchuk to make it a 3-2 score.
Yeah, but even though they did get a goal in Wisconsin's 1 goal closer to tying this game, Maine didn't give up. They came right back, and that was really good to see. They maintained their poise and came right back strong on Wisconsin, and that's what that's why they're a winning club.
Well, the Bears, as we've mentioned before, just would like to get a win here tonight to get to a third game here tomorrow night. And we just want to remind you that if that third game is necessary tomorrow night, Scott and I will be here live to bring it to you from Madison, Wisconsin. Of course, most of the Maine fans are certainly hoping for that opportunity to see tomorrow night's game. So right now, after 2 periods, it's 3-2 Maine, and we'll send it back to Bill Green.
Looking for a used Caravan or Voyager? Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge has one for you. They always have at least 12 used Caravans and Voyagers in stock, like this 1985 Caravan for only $44.95 delivered. All used vehicles are thoroughly checked by our 5-star award-winning service department and carry a 6-month warranty. From sale to service, satisfaction keeps customers coming back. Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, Route 1 bypass.
Maine Lubrication Service in Westbrook and Bangor, your single supplier of Texaco lubricant for construction, industry, marine, and consumers. Maine Lubrication Service is one of the nation's largest Texaco wholesalers, and their experienced engineering staff can purify and clean your oil, extending the life of your fluids. And with 250,000 gallons in storage and a large delivery fleet, Maine Lubrication Service works around the clock. Oil analysis, environmental services, and car and light truck oil changes at their Texaco Express Lube in the Auto Mall. Maine Lubrication Service, Texaco lubricants for New England and the Maritimes.
But a hockey game. Maine trying to force Game 3 tomorrow night, and as Dale was just saying, if they play it, we'll televise it right here on the stations of the Maine Broadcasting System. Now, Maine, just exactly what they didn't want to happen. Steve Rolex scores 30 seconds into the hockey game, and the 8,000 out there at the Dane County Civic Center are thinking blowout, but Maine answers this time. Randy Olson fires it off a defenseman's skate, and this ties the game at 1. And then on the power play, Olson from behind the net sends us to Jean-Yves Roy, and it's 2-1 Black Bears, their first lead of this series. So good goaltending tonight from Scott King, Wisconsin on the power play here. Pad save by King, and he smothers it. Still on the power play, Minnesota gets the draw. Fires it, they lose sight of it. King makes the save again. And then Roy centers from Randy Olson, and that scores to give Maine a 3-1 hockey lead in this hockey game. But Wisconsin's tough, especially on their home ice. King with the save on what essentially is a 4-on-2. Gary Shuchuk with his own rebound, and that brings it to where we are now. 3-2 Maine. Maine leading this hockey game after 2 periods of play. Dale Duff and Scott Smith will be back, of course, with the exciting third period action. Wisconsin leading the series 1-0. Minnesota beats BC tonight at Connie Forum. Brett Strott scores the game winner with 50 seconds left on a breakaway. And it was interesting to hear the crowd out in Madison as they announced a 2-1 Minnesota victory, with Maine leading 2-1 now. Minnesota and BC tied at 1 apiece. BU ahead of Michigan State 4-3. Second period goals by Ronan and McEachern give BU a 3-2 lead. And then in the third period, Sullivan scores to give them a 4-2 lead before the Spartan Steve Beadle scores to bring MSU back to within 1. MSU, of course, leads that series 1-0. And Lake Superior State and Colgate. Colgate leading 2-0. Jeff Weber for Colgate makes it 2-0 before Jim Dowd counters to bring Lake Superior back to within a goal. Lake Superior State trailing that series 1-0, and of course the hockey game 2-1. Now the Maine Black Bears found themselves in unfamiliar and unfriendly surroundings these past few days. To take their minds off the games and relax a while, the team went out on the town for a little bowling. Dale Duff went along and found the competition fierce. Here's that report.
It's the only time goalie Scott King really wants a big number up there on the scoreboard. And it's the only time a winger can stop and start a play over again. Welcome to the team bowling tournament. Don't ask me what that means. After all, it's Team Quebec. So let's go to our bowling reporter on the scene, Mike Barkley.
Where'd you get your background for bowling?
Well, I grew up in the Clifton Park area back in New York, and we had a lot of bowling experience back there. It's a big sport in Clifton Park.
Rumor has it you bowled professionally till you were 14.
Yeah, I was a professional bowler on the PBA tour until I was 14 years old, and I was a pretty good bowler.
You feeling up to form today, or just a little bit rusty, or what?
Well, the lanes are a little greasy today. I don't know whether it's just the Wisconsin area or what it is, but I'm not used to the greasy lanes.
Meanwhile, after game one, scoring controversy.
They're showing all these little dots where there's strikes are corrections. So you guys put those in.
We can't cheat. It's all computerized. It's all computerized.
They gotta see your little thing.
It's all computerized. We can't cheat.
Just a great game today.
Keep her on. Rumor has it you guys had a scandal go in the first game. Is that true?
No, definitely not. I mean, this is counted by computers. How can we change it, you know? Jean-Yves, what do you think?
Those are false allegations, is what you're trying to say?
Definitely.
You're coming off an impressive game. How'd you manage that?
Cheated.
Team Quebec, another candidate, maybe.
I've got grandparents from Quebec, and I think that affected how I took care of my score.
Jim, you're coming off an impressive first game. What do you think for this game?
Oh, I'm kind of sluggish right now. Legs are a little tired, you know. I got a cold. You know, started in the chest, starting to sink down into my ribs, you know, in the area. I'm just not feeling that well this game.
When they cleaned the gutters and totaled the score, well, let's just say that Earl Anthony has nothing to worry about.
Pin bowling, what can I say? We'll be back with a look at the rest of the day's sports news right after this.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaky wooden doors, one door stands.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Shaw's. Quality naturally.
Maine Mariners and Cape Breton tonight, where they desperately need a win. Unfortunately, Cape Breton is close to locking up a playoff spot and came out tonight ready to play. Final, Cape Breton 4, Mariners 3. Springfield now has 2 games in hand on Maine. The Mariners will need a big effort at home next weekend as they host these same Oilers for 2 games. Friday and Saturday night, Maine and Springfield tied for the final playoff spot in the AHL North. The Boston Bruins may have expected an easy time with the Minnesota North Stars today, but they didn't get it. Mark Tenori takes a beating today, but here he gets it to Neil Broughton, who shifts around Glenn Wesley and beats Andy Moog for a 1-0 North Star lead.
Goes on the outside, makes the move. Andy Broughton.
Right through the 5-hole.
Neil Broughton.
As we've heard Derek Sanderson say so often, a few minutes later, Broughton rushes with Brian Bellows and Mark Tenori. He passes Tenori, who scores between Moog's pads, and it's 2-0. Moog out, Lemelin in. The Bees get it going on the power play. Ray Bork to Craig Janney beats John Casey for a 2-1 lead. North Stars get their 2-goal lead right back. Brian Bellows centers to Broughton, who snaps it past Lemelin. It's 3-1 North Stars. Broughton's second goal of the game. And you knew the Bees were frustrated, so Lyndon Byers and Basil McRae go at it. In the second period, Ray Bork gets power play goal to make it 3-2, still Minnesota, of course. And after Bellows makes it 4-2, Neil Broughton gets a hat trick beating Lemelin. This one makes it 5-2 Minnesota. Then trailing 6-4 in the third, Jim Weimer gets the draw, fires. That goal makes it 6-5 for a happy Bruin fan. Dave Christian gets the puck behind the net, skates it in front, and backhands it. That makes it 7-6. And then the Bees have their chances down the stretch. Janney sweeps around. He gets stopped. Bees had 40 shots, couldn't do it. Minnesota holds on for a 7-6 win, but you got to appreciate the Bruins' Stanley Cup effort. Minnesota beating Boston and helping themselves in that race with the Detroit Red Wings in the Norris Division. Now, the mighty Blackhawks and those lowly Red Wings, Chicago's Doug Wilson without the helmet with the slapper from 20 feet. It's his 21st goal of the year. This one assisted by Greg Gilbert. In the second period, Dave Barr collects his 9th goal of the season as he beats Blackhawks goalie Greg Millen, top left corner. And still in the second, Bernie Federico gets his 17th goal of the season on a backhander from behind the Blackhawks net. And then with 48 seconds left in the third, Steve Yzerman steals the puck as two Blackhawk defenders collide. Thank you. It's his 8th goal in 7 games against Chicago this year. They ought to trade for him. Final seconds, Wayne Presley ties the score at 3, but the tie would last only seconds as the return of Bob Probert continues. He gets the game winner on a slap shot from the top of the right face-off circle, and the Red Wings down the Blackhawks by the score of 5-3. They had a late one. Goal in the second straight game for Probert. Now, lots of Maine Mariners playing a role in today's Devils Flyers game, like Kenny Linsman. He passes to Norm Lacombe. Sean Burke barely gets a pad on it. Watch Linsman knock it right out of the air for the goal. Thank you very much. In the second, with the Devils up 2-1, we'll start the action. John McClain's behind the net. He feeds to Kurt Mueller. He beats Kenny Linsman's old Maine Mariners teammate Pete Peters. And then on to the third period we go. The Devils up 4-2. Doug Brown, former Mariner, finds some skating room in front, goes up top, and the Devils go on to down the Flyers. Final score in that one, 5-2. Peter Stastny with a big goal, with a game with a goal and 2 assists. Now, continuing down our NHL scoreboard, Calgary and Pittsburgh skate to a 3-3 tie. Adams Division battle between Montreal and Hartford. And the Hartford Whalers now leading that ice hockey game 5-4 in the third period of play. Toronto and Quebec tied at 2 in the second, and the Islanders and Edmonton, the Oilers on top, 3-2 in the second period of play in that hockey game. New York Knicks are in a tailspin. They lost 5 in a row and fallen from first to third in the NBA's Atlantic Division, and a win by the Celtics in New York tonight would really be a blow to the Knicks. Let's go to that action in the first. Lewis to Larry Bird on the give and go. Reggie puts it in and is fouled.
Team Reggie cuts.
It's 11-7, Knicks up on top. Then Ewing gets the ball inside. He spins to the middle and hits the short one over Klein. And the Knicks take the lead 45-40, and they have it most of the game. Here, Mike Smith with the ball finds McHale in the paint. He hits the short J, and the Knicks lead is 4, 95-91. Here, Ewing with the ball inside. He's stripped by Baggs. Watch this save to Reggie Lewis. They're going to run it the other way. Back to Baggs in the center. He dishes to Robert for the lay-in, and the Celtics beat the Knicks 115-110. They have a chance to be ahead in the loss column of the Atlantic Division's East tonight if Philadelphia loses. We'll have more on that later in the evening. Back to Maine hockey. Maine up on top, 3-2 as we go into the third.
You're looking at 4 guys with 2 powerful passions. Desmond and Payne Insurance and University of Maine Hockey. But that's what you'd expect from 4 U of M grads. Lots of smarts and lots of loyalty. If you want to get the same kind of support with your insurance as these guys show their team, give them a call. But if you're going to call them during the game, you might want to wait till the next break. Desmond and Payne Insurance, backing you and the U of Maine all the way.
By sweeping the Bowling Green Falcons, the Black Bears of Maine advanced to the NCAA quarterfinals for the 4th consecutive season. In addition, Sean Walsh has been named Hockey East Coach of the Year, and the Bears have set new marks in home attendance, home wins, and goals in a single game. Tonight, they continue their quest for the national title. Good luck from Coastal Computer Center, focused exclusively on assisting you to get the most from your Apple computer investment. Butts Financial Group, servicing Maine businesses through mergers, acquisitions, and divestitures, and Port Sports, Maine's hottest ski and surf shops, Bethel, Portland, and Kennebunk.
All right, third period action about to begin here in Madison, Wisconsin. To recap that second period for you, the Bears get a goal from Randy Olson. It's a power play goal, and give Jean-Yves Roy the assist. It was Olson's second power play goal of the night.
Just a little,
gave him a 3-1 lead.
Just a little give and go, Dale. Just down low, Jean-Yves sees Randy Olson stick on the ice, just redirects it into the empty net. Great play by Randy Olson, keeping that stick on the ice. Scott Pellerin right in there doing a heck of a job, causing a lot of traffic and getting in the way.
And so that put the Bears ahead by a 3-1 count. And then, after the Bears had worked so hard at the other end of the ice, Gary Shuchuk comes back and scores on a rebound shot, on his own rebound shot.
Give a lot of credit to Gary Shuchuk and Scott King. Scott King comes up with a beautiful initial save here. You see right on Gary there, and Gary just pulls the puck back and puts it upstairs. Scotty just couldn't regain his feet.
And so, after 2 periods of play, the Bears holding on to a 3-2 lead. And again, to reset the scene, the Bears need to win this game to force a Game 3 tomorrow night. And if it is going to be a Game 3, we'll be right here to bring it to you.
Beautiful Dane County Coliseum.
Very nice town. City of about 170,000. Madison, Wisconsin. All right, play is underway in period 3. It's John Bice starting up ice for the Badgers. In over the zone, can't connect with Richter. Back to the point to Osiki, has trouble with it. Winds up in front, but Claudio Scrimmin fires it out for Maine. Now it's Pellerin. He'll try to center it, but Osiki is there. Now ahead, it'll come to Rollick. He'll try to move in, wait for some support help, get it to Bice, who goes behind the net. Bice will center it, but there's nobody there, and Hill takes over at neutral ice. Now Hill just fires it in. Shuchuk is there. Sagasor keeps it in, but Maine kicks it out of there. Here comes Carney. He's got a 2-on-2 break. He'll send it away as Kurt Dirksen sticks it to the corner, and Tanzel takes over. Here he comes, drops it off for Sagasor. It goes to the corner. Burke is there as well. Tanzel now back to Shuchuk. Swept in, shot, saved by King. As it was an innocent enough looking shot, and it landed in goal, and King was there to make the stop.
Very close call there. That puck was just redirected to the net, and Wisconsin player just redirected it with his foot. Scott King with a big save.
In a big second period with 13 shots on goal for a 2-period total of 18. And Sean Hill was the man who directed that puck on net. There's a drive by Tanzel that goes high and wide. Mendel keeps it in, fired it on net, but it wound up hitting Burke, I believe. Now it's swept in front there and goes around the dasher as Hill moves in deep to keep it in. But Maine's Belfay will sweep it outside the zone to the neutral ice, and it'll come all the way down on Dirksen.
You have to wonder why guys want to be goaltenders. Guys shoot the puck so hard nowadays, and the pucks are frozen. It's unbelievable.
Barkley intercepts and tried to centering pass, but couldn't make anything work there, and the Badgers will fire down, icing on Wisconsin. And so we've played almost 2 minutes in this second period of play, and the Bears maintain the 3-2 lead. Jeff Sauer, formerly coached at Colorado College. He is a graduate of Colorado College, and he's kind of a Bob Johnson protege. Bob Johnson, well, he's Mr. Everything here in Badgerland, isn't he?
He's Mr. Everything in U.S. hockey. He's director of the A-House Association, which runs all the youth programs and the college programs and the high school programs. And when you think hockey, you think Bob Johnson.
Badger Bob Johnson used to coach the Calgary Flames for a period of time.
His son's the assistant coach here.
That's right. Trey Toomey. Now it's fired in by Granato, but King will sweep it around the dasher to Widmeyer, who has trouble getting control. Puck squirts free, and on it is Macera. Around Tepper, bumped in the play. Now it's teed up, blocked down in front, and jumps over the net and up into the screen. And another shot by Doug McDonald that hit something in front and wound up jumping over the net.
Maine had 2 chances to get that puck out along the boards, and they weren't able to do it, and there was a good scoring opportunity. They have to continue to be strong along the boards. If the D are in trouble, they're going to roll it around the boards, and those wingers, it's their job to get that puck clear and come down and meet this fella.
Dwayne Dirksen, some tough shoes to fill for him. Curtis Joseph was their goalie last year. He was a freshman goalie last year, Curtis Joseph, and these days he's playing for the St. Louis Blues. That's quite a jump, huh?
Took a little vacation from college.
Instead of $1 million contract. I don't know if that's quite right, but so he signed for a lot of money, and this year Dirksen has been the man in goal for the Badgers. Now Roy tried to break in, but a check by Ngringa. But now we'll have an offside play on Maine.
You know, people say, how can these kids leave school? Well, you're only here, you're only 20 years old once, and you get the opportunity to play professional hockey, which is probably everybody's goal on the ice right now, and you get the big dollars in front of you. You can always finish school. School will always be there, and I would never hesitate to tell a player to, you know, take the money and run, because you can always come back and finish school. And a lot of guys I know that do leave school, myself included, have finished school and are trying to finish school, and schooling is very important.
Good point. All right. Robin Ngringa and Mark Osicki play the defense. Osicki takes a hit from Pellerin. It's cleared away. Now Ngringa again will reload with Osicki. Olsen putting the pressure on the forecheck. Rawlik can't connect with that pass. Pellerin takes over. He'll try to connect with Roy. Olsen is in the zone as well. Randy ridden to the boards by Richter, and now Bice joins in. John Bice will take over, but can't move the puck. There's Olsen with a shot blocked with the stick of Bice. Osicki moves it ahead smartly to Richter. Up through center ice he comes, drops it for Rawlik. He'll tee it up and then fire it wide. Osicki keeps it in for the moment, but Tomberlin will skate away for the Bears. Now he can't connect with Roy, and so Maine decides to make changes. Now behind the net, it is Kurtz, and Hill finally clears the blue line. Now it is Snedden. He'll take a hit from Perron, and King will play the puck behind the net. Now Lalonde works against Snedden. 29 against 27. Puck loose behind that net. Snedden has it. Drops it back, but it's a Maine player there to intercept. Now Hill waits for the men to clear and fires it back in. We've played 4 minutes in this second period. The Bears with a 3-2 lead over the Badgers. Behind the net, they tried a centering pass, but it doesn't work, and they wave off the icing call, and both teams make changes again. Now Rob Mendel and Hill as the Bears move in to forecheck. Solfi and Belfay there, as well as Barkley. Carney is there. He is onside, makes the spin move, centers it. Barkley can't get control for the moment. Now he does, and sweeps it down in the zone. Tanzel. Ahead it'll come to Sagasor, who will move it in. Widmeyer brings him down. King comes way out of the net to play it and send it down the ice. That's icing on Maine. We'll take a break in the action. It's Maine 3 and Wisconsin 2. Back in 30 seconds.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaky wooden doors, one door stands alone. The beautiful Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. Rugged fiberglass and solid insulating foam that looks just like wood, but stands up to blistering heat and biting cold for years. The great-looking, trouble-free Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. An open and shut case for greater home beauty.
See Molten Lumber, West Newfield, and Rufus Deering, Portland.
Back at Dane County Coliseum, and you see that the Badgers are not used to losing home playoff games since 1982. Can you believe that? But the Bears are looking to change things right now. But Tanzel with a wicked shot that is stopped by King from point-blank range. as the Badgers continue to win those draws.
21 goals in his last 17 games. Can shoot the puck. They got him positioned perfect on his faceoff. Maine is definitely has to start winning some faceoffs here. Wisconsin getting a lot of goal scoring opportunities off the faceoffs.
It is Shuchuk and Olson on the draw, won by the Badgers again, and this shot by Tanzel pops up into the crowd.
Sean's got to find a man that can beat Shuchuk, or at least tie him up enough for a defenseman to come in and help him out. They're going through a lot of pucks tonight.
They sure are. So we told you that, oh, look at that on the scoreboard. Can you believe that? Colgate beat Lake Superior again, and the series is over. Colgate is in the Final Four. Oh, my heavens. There's a shot on by Osiki, stopped by King. Knocked down along the boards. 4 men fight for it. Finally, it's cleared to center ice. Osiki just drives it ahead, and Burke will have to go after it. Now around the dasher it comes. Here's Randy Olson flying up the side. Makes the move, still with the puck, tees it up, blocked down in front by the Badger player, Chris Tanzel. Now it's sent ahead, but not outside the zone. This is Rob Andringa. He was a quarterback in high school. And now we've got some action away from the puck, and we've got a whistle. And look at this by the Maine bench. And let's see if we have some penalties here, as you can feel the bad blood brewing between these teams.
Both players are standing there exchanging some blows. Sean trying to control some people, maintain composure.
Now Widmeyer is in there with Wisconsin player number 24, Mark Osiki. And we're going to have penalties. Let's see what they are.
John Eves is going to go for high sticking.
All right, let's get the referee call on this one. This will be interesting. 2 Maine men are in the box.
28. 2 each. 24 here, 28 here. 2 each for roughing. 22 over there and 19 over there. 2 minutes each for roughing.
So matching minors.
Here's the penalty situation. The Maine penalties go to number 28, John Eves Waugh, and number 24, Steve Widmeyer. 2 minutes each for roughing.
So Widmeyer and Ruagua for Maine. Sagasor and Tanzel go off for the Badgers.
Tanzel and Widmeyer were dueling each other across the ice. They were away from the play.
And so the scoreboard is lit up now.
Sean doing the right thing there, I think he grabbed Brian Belfing and Steve Tepper, trying to get them out of the action. You don't need any of that. It doesn't do any good, but, you know, set the Wisconsin players in this place on fire. There's no sense in getting up and talking to the guys. Let the refs get in there, do their jobs, and clean up the confrontations and get on with the game. Sean throwing around a couple big boys.
Yes, he is. And so at this stage, it'll be 3-on-3 for the next 2 minutes, and you will have a lot of ice to work with. Robitaille is out there with Lalonde and with Scremin. And now Mendel and Scremin have words as well. A lot of talking going on. All right, here comes Maine. 3-on-3 is the situation. Lalonde stops, intercepted by McDonald, and he comes back with Hill. McDonald moves in, shot, score!
Well, to see on the replay if that was deflected, it looked like that it wasn't deflected. It looked like it might have hit Christian Lalonde's stick. Scott King was set up, and he didn't even move for it.
Yeah, it was an interesting play. King, he seemed mesmerized. Now, maybe it was a deflection. Let's see.
Boy, the stick was there. Christian's stick was there. It'll be tough seeing. Tough telling. Maybe we can see it on a reverse angle here. That was a straight shot right in the net. Beat Scotty King over his shoulder, his blocker shoulder. You know that's a bomb because Scott usually doesn't get beat upstairs.
And so for McDonald, goal number 16 on the year, and listen to the crowd.
Wisconsin shoots high all night. Actually, they've been shooting high all weekend. They like to go upstairs.
And remember, it's still 3-on-3. Here comes Scott Pellerin against Ndringa. Good move to get around him, but loses the puck for the moment. A lot of ice out there. We may see some offense on either side now. Bice is out there being checked by Carney. Now Osiki. It's now a 3-3 game with just over 13 minutes left in the game. Puck winds up on the stick of King. Now here comes Maine. Burke moves the puck through against Hill. A pair of sixes. There's a shot stopped by Dirksen as Burke with kind of a one-handed shot there. Bice tries to send away Hill, and he does. John Hill stopped by King. He makes the pad save. The rebound shot goes wide of King, and now on it is Sulfide. Here comes Maine. Sulfide moves in, drops it back to the point. Now it is, jumps over the stick of Straub, but Sulfide is there. He shoots it to the open corner. Hill takes over. He'll try to send away a man, Mendel, but can't do it. They wave off icing. They say it touched the stick. Straub is on it behind, and listen to this crowd now. Now the penalties are over, and it is back 5-on-5. Maine trying to break through. Mendel rides off the play there as Widmeyer couldn't break in, and Maine has to clear up. Now Hill. Robitaille takes over smartly. Martin trying to make a move. He's ridden off the play, and back comes Shuchuk. He's got Tanzel up ahead and gets it to him. Chris Tanzel moves in, stopped by King. Behind the net it'll go. Shuchuk is there, and now Tanzel in front, knocked down by the Maine defense. 3-3 is the score, and what a great college hockey game this is. Now it moves to center ice. Osiki and Ndringa are there for the Badgers playing the point. And that's an offside play on the Badgers. A break in the action. It is Maine 3, Wisconsin 3.
It all started here in Great Works, just outside Old Town, with Percy O'Keefe's father and his partner some 78 years ago. They would mix up the flavors, all the good ones like root beer, birch beer, sarsaparilla, even cream sodas, bottle it up themselves. And for over 30 years now, Percy's been delivering S&OK soda all around Maine. For the good old-fashioned flavors, S&OK soda from Butterfield Bottling, a Maine native.
Well, the Badgers, besides being a tough home playoff team, they are simply tough here at home. You see the latest streak. The Badgers 19-3-1 at home. Maine is 9-8-1 on the road. And something will have to give tonight. Let's see what happens. The Bears in a must-win situation. Right now, they're tied. Flipped out of the zone by Sneddon, and Straub will go back and get it for Maine. 11 minutes now left in the third period. Behind the net, it'll go and cleared out of there by Maine. Ahead, it's Roy. He's knocked down on the play. Osiki takes over. Osiki moves it ahead to Sneddon. It actually hit him in the stomach and dropped to the ice, and Maine comes back. Randy Olson tries to make a move. There's Roy, and now Carney moves in deep. Holds in front, knocked down, and skated out of there by Sneddon. He tries to go with Kurtz. He's hauled down on the play. The crowd wanted to call, but back comes Scremin. He'll stop and shoot, and Dirksen makes the save, and Nelson takes over for the Badgers. He'll get it outside the zone. Now from over the blue line, Lalonde takes a shot. Nelson knocks it down in front. There's another crunch to the boards as two Maine players go there. Now it is Joe Decker. Lalonde takes him to the boards. Joining in is Don Granato. Lalonde is playing without a stick at the moment. Let's see what happens here. Granato has the puck, but they got a man inside the zone and he can't get out. Maine takes over. Here comes John Macera, but he moves in offside, as it was either Tepper or Widmeyer went in ahead of the puck.
Stevie Whitmire had a full head of steam coming down that right side, and he was just beat Johnny a little bit.
Sean Walsh hoping to get to a third game tomorrow night. Right now it is 3-3 with 9:44 to go in the game, and Jeff Sauer says, I'd like to end this thing right now and go to Detroit. And there's a lot of hockey to be played. I still can't believe that Colgate beat Lake Superior. I guess that says something for home ice. It has to.
No one would have picked that, you know, especially from the West. But home ice, anything can happen. Plus playoff hockey, anything can happen.
All right. Roger Sykes moves it up for the Badgers, but in first is Straub to get it. Maine trying to clear the zone and do. Moving it ahead is Roy, knocked down on the play. Rather, that is Sulfi. He's hurt, loses his stick, and he's going off the ice. Back comes Sykes. He'll just drive it in behind King. Sulfi is hurt. He quickly went to the bench. Now the puck winds up in the crowd as Sulfi went down and hurt his arm. We're looking over at the bench now. He's holding on to the elbow.
A lot of times the most innocent falls or innocent checks turn up to be an injury.
Well, you can feel the intensity pick up here in Madison with 9:12 left in this third period of play. It's 3-3.
Last 4 or 5 minutes, Wisconsin has definitely been taking it to Maine. They cranked it up a little bit, and Maine's going to have to answer the call.
Bice on the draw with Robitaille. It is won by the Badgers. Perron tries to gain control of the puck, but can't. Finally, Scremin does. Claudio just flips it out to center ice, and it'll wind up down on Dirksen. Every time that puck rolls, all I can think of is Paul Connell and Bowling Green, huh? Now behind it, Robitaille tried to center it to Perron. It was blocked down. Robitaille drops it now for Tomberlin. Hill takes over, though. Bouncing puck, and he clears it to center ice. Robitaille almost made a nice play there in front. Now the puck is loose for the moment, and it comes to Sean Hill. He'll send it around to the open wing, which is Richter. He'll take a hit from Perron. Maine putting heavy pressure on now. Bice fights for it with Carney. Now Hill takes Perron to the board, and they scramble along the boards. Finally, Richter takes over as Perron goes down. Barry Richter. He's got Hill on the right side. Hill will dump it in, and Badgers and the Bears changed lines on this play. Just over 8 minutes now left in the third period. Here comes Olsen. Hill's shot stopped by Dirksen as Pellerin made the shot, and it was stopped by Dwayne Dirksen. Back comes Schuchek. Now Tanzel. Stopped by King. Did you see that glove?
Again, Scott King comes way out and cuts that angle down. He knows Schuchek can shoot the puck. But on the other end, Scott Pellerin with a great individual effort to step by the Badger defenseman, get right in and get a nice shot on net.
Boy, Pellerin has one of the hardest and heaviest shots.
Here we see the save on Scotty Pellerin. Dirksen comes out and cuts the angle down. Play turns right around and comes back down on Scotty King. Look at how far out of the net he is. Boy, and there was an angle there too. Scotty had to make that save or that puck would have been in the net.
Isn't this great action?
Schuchek loves to shoot about 4 inches off the ice, and he loves to go for that far corner. He can really shoot it.
7:55 now left in third period action. 3-3. It has been a back-and-forth game. The Badgers scored first. The Bears came back and scored 3 times and grabbed a 3-1 lead, and it's gone back and forth, and we stay tied at this moment. And while they fix the ice, we'll take a break in the action. Maine 3, Wisconsin 3, back in a moment.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaking wooden doors, one door stands alone. The beautiful Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. Rugged fiberglass and solid insulating foam that looks just like wood, but stands up to blistering heat and biting cold for years. The great-looking, trouble-free Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru. An open and shut case for greater home beauty.
See Swan Supply, Norway, and Brill Lumber Company, Bridgeton.
Back at the Dane County Coliseum, live, Madison, Wisconsin, 3-3. Maine and Wisconsin will pass along this score for you. BU has just beaten Michigan State. 5-3 was the final. That game at Michigan State, and so that series is tied at 3-3. And so Sean Walsh's father-in-law, I'm sure, not too happy at this moment.
Jeez.
And as we mentioned a little earlier in the game, Colgate has already won its game, sweeping the Lakers from Lake Superior 2-0. So Colgate's in the Final Four, and we've still got the other 3 teams to be decided. Minnesota, BC, that series tied up at 1. And so this is the only game in the country being played at this hour. And there's a shot fired on by Andringa that went wide of King. And the whistle blows as the puck winds up behind the net.
Maine's got 7 minutes and 48 seconds to get a couple goals here and push this game into a third night.
Well, so far tonight, the Minnesota Gophers won on the road. The BU Terriers have won on the road.
Well, coming into this game, the coaching staff knew they could win as long as they played their style. Last night they did, and they've been playing pretty well tonight.
Now the Badgers over the line. Sagasor checked away, and the puck jumps to center ice. Knocked right back in by Osiki. Burke goes hard into the boards with Shuchuk. Now it is Lalonde trying to clear. Tenzel is on him. It'll come back up the boards and finally broken out of there by Maine. Here comes Scott Pellerin. His shot stopped by Dirksen, and it winds up back in the crowd.
Great
For the
save.
Second time, it's Pellerin again.
Great save by Dirksen. Scotty Pellerin just cuts right back to the middle and uses Osiki as a screen and lets a nice low shot go right on Dirk. Dirksen was moving from left to right, and when a goaltender's moving, you want to shoot low because they usually can't make a save with their feet.
Ooh.
Beautiful save.
Nicely done by the goalie Dirksen, and Scott Pellerin knows he's had 2 blasts and would like to get a third one and see if he can get it by him. Scott Pellerin from Shediac, New Brunswick. Hello to all the folks in the Maritimes watching tonight. Hope you're enjoying this one. I'm sure you're on pins and needles as we are.
Nap Pellerin's probably wishing he was here tonight.
Some of the parents are here, right? We talked to some of them today.
Burks and the Scremmans. Mrs. Scremin, I think she's got more frequent flyers. And
got a long way to come from British Columbia. All right, it is Osiki now controlling the puck. Headmans it to Shuchuk. Tries to send Tenzel away, but can't do it. Maine takes over. We're down to 7 minutes in this third period of play. Now Tenzel with Shuchuk, ridden off the play. Straub does a nice job tying up Shuchuk, and King will hold on. Give Brian Straub some credit there for not letting Shuchuk get around him.
You see like that after the whistle. They should take Shuchuk and put him in the box. I mean, that stuff just shouldn't be going on. I mean, he punched Brian Straub in the head for no reason.
Well, he's in some select company there. Shuchuk with 40 goals this year. He is the all-time leader in games played for Wisconsin, and he's also the MVP of the WCHA this year. And folks around Madison here wonder why he isn't a Hobey Baker candidate.
Definitely he's got the numbers for a Hobie Baker can. He gets a lot of ice time. He must be very durable to play that many games and be able to take the beating he does out there and give the beating. He's very physical and very aggressive player.
By the way, he's a draft choice of the Detroit Red Wings, and I think he'd like to show the Red Wings a little stuff right there in Joe Louis Arena next weekend. But the Bears have something to say about that. 6 minutes and 53 seconds left in the third period. Kurtz will take the draw with Barkley. It's won by the Badgers, and Nelson fires it in. Snedden is on it there with Scremin. Maine takes over, trying to send a man away, Belfay, but he can't. He goes down on the play, as does Nelson. Sykes takes over. Roger Sykes, a junior from Illinois, moves it up. Decker can't headman the puck any as Maine stops him right there in the neutral zone. Now Nelson fires it ahead, intercepted by Maine as they try to work a weave, and Barkley moves in deep. He'll take a crunch from Sykes, but Sulfai's there. He takes a hit from Nelson. Belfay is back there. A couple of heavy hits dished out by Badgers there, but the Black Bears get right up and go right after it. Now Sykes waiting for a breakout, intercepted by Robitaille. Look at that. Martin Holt tries to work a centering pass to Perron and couldn't quite do it. Puck jumps out over the blue line. Maine will have to clear and change up. Now driven in. Dirksen stops it. The puck is loose for the moment. Robitaille couldn't quite get to it. Sykes clears the zone. Maine will have to clear again. Now Nelson, he'll just golf it out of there. Straub has it, loses it. Now Tanzel moving in as McDonald. He shoots it just wide. Decker is there to knock it back in deep. Now King is down on the ice. He goes down and gets back up slowly. We'll see what develops there. Maine drives it into the open corner. Dirksen is there to stop it for Mindell. We've got 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in this third period. 3-3 is the score. Now comes Granato. He'll move in, stopped by King. A rebound shot goes over the net, and Maine players are on it in the corner. They'll simply flip it to center ice. On it now is Lalonde, or Roy rather. He tries to move in. He's held off the play by Hill, who hangs on to his stick. Now Mindell is there. Roy centers it in front. Pellerin couldn't get a stick to it. Bice starts back for the Badgers. Here comes John Bice, moving up the right side. He'll shoot it, and King makes the save there. Now it's Kurtz. There's a shot taken by a Badger, knocked down. Hill's shot is partially fanned on, and King will hold on.
End-to-end action. Scott King just got run by Doug McDonald behind the play. All three officials watched the whole thing, didn't call a penalty. Sean, I thought was going to blow a gasket.
He went down face first, and meanwhile, this is McDonald.
Oh, Hill had a wide open net and just couldn't find it. Another timeout to fix the ice.
Yep. 4 minutes and 27 seconds left in this third period of play. As you can see, the Badgers have been stingy late in the game.
A lot of fans might ask, geez, are the Maine players tired right now? I don't have a feeling anyone's tired out there. There's so much adrenaline pumping in these guys. They're just ready. They just want to get another goal and just move on to a third night.
Yeah, the Bears know that they just have to go all out tonight and see what happens. And, of course, the Badgers have been off for a couple of weeks because they drew the first round bye. And so everybody is running on adrenaline right now. Here comes Maine. Roy moves it in. Decides to go after it, but Osiki is there first, has it stolen by Olsen for the moment. Wallach takes over. Ooh, Olsen almost had that steal. Now here comes Richter. He'll move in, trying to go around a man, scrunched to the boards, but gains control of the puck. Back it'll come to Andringa, and he'll just fire it in deep. Richter held off the play behind the net. Maine takes over. It's Claudio Scremin. Now here comes Roy. Up ahead he'll come. He can't connect with Olsen, and they'll leave the ice on a line change. Now Bice moves it in, and the Badgers will change as well. 3 minutes and 40 seconds in the third period. Here comes Massera. Shot goes wide of Dirksen, and around the dasher it'll go. Massera joins in with Tepper, and we've got a whistle. And what's the call there?
Piece of glass popped out. One of the band members almost ate a Sherwood.
Place is falling apart. They just haven't seen this heavy hitting by Maine, I guess, huh? It is a beautiful complex here. It's a 8,000-seat arena. It's a wonderful circular theater seats, and a wonderful place to play hockey, a wonderful place to see hockey. And Wisconsin has led the nation in attendance for 21 straight years in terms of college hockey attendance. The Badgers have been #1. As I say, they love their hockey here. Now Sagasor moves through the blue line, loses the puck though, and I don't know whether he pulled himself offside or whether Tanzel came in a little bit too soon on the other side. Nonetheless, it's offside.
Jimmy Burke doing a fine job standing up.
Sean Walsh talking to somebody over there. I'm not sure. Well, all right, so these teams have already played one overtime game back in 1986. Three minutes and 17 seconds left in this third period of play. It's popped to center ice by Maine, and Mendel is there, kept in the line. No, they say it isn't. Just as Belfay was set to take a slapper, the whistle blew, and the puck did get over that blue line. Well, Brian Belfay in the lineup for the Bears tonight in place of, well, Jim Montgomery, Brian Belfay, or Brian Downey rather. Sean Walsh choosing to go with the size, and well, so far tonight it's helped to pay off.
Well, that was the main reason he added Steve Tepper and Whitmire. You know, those guys come out and they bang heavy along the boards, and that's what they lacked last night.
And now Jeff Sauer is on the officials.
You know, I have a love relationship with the officials, and I can honestly say that this has probably been one of the worst officiated weekends I've seen, as far as being organized, getting the face-offs going, and making clutch pressure calls. That's why they get paid their money. They should make those calls.
Draw won by the Badgers. Sagasor moves in, goes down on the play. Maine takes over, but does not clear the zone. Shuchuk moves it in deep, but Brian Straub is there for Maine. They'll circle the net and get things started up. Here comes Belfay trying to charge in against Hill. Hill will take him to the boards and give up the puck. Now here comes Suchuk. Up the right side, now cuts to the center, makes the move, loses the puck. Good defense by Maine as Shuchuk had nowhere to turn. Now here comes Maine. There's a blast by Selfie. Oh, he fakes it, centers the puck, but there is Tanzel. Ahead it'll come to Kurtz. He wants to make a move, has to give up the puck to do it, and King clears it. Now it's Snedden who will drive it in after Tomberlin fanned on the pass. We're down to 2 minutes and 5 seconds in the third period of play. We'll have a 10-minute overtime period, sudden death, by the way, if it remains tied. Now Tomberlin moves in. There's a shot blocked down in front by Indringa. That was Perron with the shot. Now back breaks Snedden. Can he get to it against Lalonde? He does, but then puts on the brakes and goes down. Maine takes over. A minute and 40 seconds left in the third period. It's 3-3. Here comes Maine. On it now is Perron trying to make a move. Backhander knocked down by Osiki. Tries to clear the zone. Can't do it, and now he'll take it out himself. 3-3 the score, and it is getting tight. Straub behind the net, and he tried to make the pass up off the glass. It winds up into the crowd, and so we'll have a face-off back in the main zone. 1 minute and 14 seconds. 3-3 the score. If it goes to overtime, we'll have a 10-minute overtime period. And if it's still tied, they'll switch ends and play another 10-minute overtime period.
Probably the most important face-off of the weekend so far right here.
And it'll be Bice. And he'll take it against Olson.
Maine would love to win this face-off and clear the puck and get right down into the Badgers' end and see if they can get something going.
Remember now, because Wisconsin's the home team, the Badgers get the last line change. And Jeff Sauer is taking advantage of that right now. Although he's not going to get this last change, and I don't think he's happy about it. Explain that situation, Scott.
Well, you gotta ask the question again, Dale. I was watching over by the bench. They have Richter right standing by the bench waiting for the quick line change.
And they wouldn't let him out, I guess. All right. Draw really is a draw, but Mendel moves it back in. Now just 1 minute left in this period of play. Third period tied at 3. Olson moves in, fakes the shot, makes the spin move. In front, there's Roy. Can't get the backhander off. Around the dasher, it'll come. Straub tees it up, knocked down by Hill. It's under him, and we'll have a draw. And then Pellerin is knocked down to the ice.
No whistle. What the heck? Why not keep digging for it?
Roy was standing there in front of the net. Watch this. He just couldn't get that backhander released. Now that's after
Scotty,
the play.
Hill gives him a little shove, and actually that was Mendel. Hill comes over and gives him a little talk.
45 seconds left in the third period. 3-3. Shuchuk and Olson on this draw. One by Maine. Roy tries to make a move. It's loose in front. Finally, the Badgers will clear. King will come out to play it. You see the time on the top of your screen is 3-3. Will we go to overtime? Endringa to Sagasur. Intercepted by Carney. Knocked down in front. There's a shot. It jumps over the goal and up into the crowd as Roy, I think, kind of wanted to hold that back and maybe make one more move, but he couldn't.
Keith Carney with great poise. He had a chance to shoot the puck, but instead he saw peripheral vision. He saw Jean-Yves breaking down the left side, just stitched it off to him. Give credit to the Wisconsin defense, blocking shots.
Yeah, Osiki, and he's something else on those.
Oh.
With 20 seconds on the clock, it is Shuchuk and Olson again. Won this time by Shuchuk. Osiki and Endringa with it. Now it's Tanzo. He'll try to move in, go around one man, move in deep, but he goes down and Maine takes over, and we're headed for overtime, it looks, as time winds down. And so we'll have overtime here in Madison, Wisconsin, as the Bears and the Badgers will need to settle this thing in overtime. And so we'll have an in-between period session, and then when we come back, it'll be a 10-minute sudden death overtime. If nothing is settled at the end of the first 10 minutes, they'll swap ends and play another 10-minute overtime period. And so we will take a break in the action. But don't go anywhere, folks, because we've got a lot to be decided. Can the Bears keep their playoff hopes alive? Or will the Badgers be Detroit-bound next weekend? We'll see when we come back after this timeout.
In a world of warped, cracked, leaky wooden doors, one door stands alone. The beautiful Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru, Rugged fiberglass and solid insulating foam that looks just like wood, but stands up to blistering heat and biting cold for years. The great-looking, trouble-free Fiber Classic by Therma-Tru, an open and shut case for greater home beauty.
See Molten Lumber, West Newfield, and Rufus Deering, Portland.
What's most important when you buy a car, the sale or the service? At Portsmouth, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, both are equal. They inspire customer satisfaction with low prices and 5-star rated quality service. From the Seacoast's largest selection of Caravans and Voyagers, you can take delivery of a Caravan for just $11,995 or a Grand Caravan for just $14,995. From sale to service, satisfaction keeps customers coming back. Portsmouth, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Route 1 bypass.
I'm Dick Aronson, president of Century Tire, and I know that a satisfied customer is our best advertising. Rachel Waning, a recent UMO graduate, knows she can count on us. And Ed Anderson of the Maine Mariners likes the professional attention we give. For brakes, shocks, mufflers, computerized alignments, complete car care. Come on in. We'll keep you rolling.
At Century Tire, we'll keep you rolling.
Monday at 7:30, it's an Alf you'd never thought you'd see.
Alf, your ride's here.
Monday at 7:30 only on 6 Alive.
So it's to overtime we go. Maine and Wisconsin tied at 3, and what a hockey game it's been. Now we remind you, if Maine wins tonight, we'll be right back here tomorrow night with all of the action. Let's go to the highlights. Way back in the first period so long ago, 30 seconds into the game, Steve Rollix gets the goal, trickling through King, 1-0 Badgers. But tonight, Maine responds. Randy Olson fires it. It goes off a defenseman's skate. That ties the hockey game at 1. Then Maine gets a power play goal for its first lead of the series. Olson from behind the net to Johnny Joie. It's 2-1 Maine. Some great goaltending tonight by Scott King for the Black Bears. Here, a pad save, and he sits on it. Can't get it out of there. It's out of sight. And then a power play. Wisconsin gets the draw. Fires. Once again, King with the great save.
Trying to make a play.
Roy, of course, here, scoring on a centering pass from Randy Olson.
Power play goal, Maine.
And it's 3-1 Maine. And Maine had the momentum for a while, but then Wisconsin got it turned around.
In front, shot, knocked down in front by King, score!
And then the great score by Shuchuk off his own rebound. King made the first one, but some people got caught up, and that made it 3-2. And then Doug McDonald brings it over the blue line. Blast. That one ties it at 3-3. Maine can't be chippy out there. They can't take the bad penalty. It got them into trouble last night, and we almost saw more of it tonight as there was seemingly an altercation in front of the Maine bench. Here, King with a great save.
He makes the pad save. The rebound shot goes
and Maine takes it up the other way eventually. Game tied at 3-3, and it's into overtime we go. Next goal wins this hockey game, of course, and Maine wins. We'll have Game 3 tomorrow night. Elsewhere in Minnesota, a 2-1 winner over Boston College. This ties that series at 1 apiece. Boston University, a 5-3 winner over Michigan State. That series also tied at 1 apiece. And Colgate, a team which seems to get very little respect at home against Lake Superior State. And the Red Raiders sweep the series, winning the second game tonight 2-1, and they win it 2-0. They now go to the Final Four. Colgate, the first team in the Final Four. We'll take a break. We'll be back with a look at UMaine hockey, one of the people behind the scenes, right after this.
A message from the Consumer Information Center in Pueblo, Colorado. If you'd like to give your house some minor tweaks, fix up eensy-beensy leaks, trim your tummy, thighs, and hips, go on safe, exotic trips, bank on stocks and count on bonds,
program into a national power, no question about that. Gets a lot of credit and he deserves it. But part of his secret is getting talented assistants. Grant Stanbrook is such a person. He has recruited most of the talent that we see skating tonight, both from Maine and Wisconsin.
This takes a while, huh? That was great. Yeah, it was great. It's fun to be out there skating.
When you think about your days here at Wisconsin and having been at Maine now for a couple of years, compare.
That's a difficult comparison because you've got a small school which has a major league hockey program, a major Division I hockey program, one of the prominent ones in the nation, and Wisconsin is the same way, only it's a large school with 50,000 students, and it's like a city within a city here. Their program started from lowly beginnings. Compliments of Bob Johnson, who went around the state and spoke at every banquet he could and built the program up. Rinks were built because of his proselytizing, and he did an excellent job to build hockey in this area. Whereas in Madison or in Maine, Sean Walsh has done exactly the same thing. Inside of a short span, inside of 5 years, he's brought it to national prominence.
And in both cases, you've been kind of the sidekick to help bring in the talent.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's sort of like a general manager in that you have a chance to coach a little bit, and that's the part I particularly like, but also you have a chance to select. And it's so difficult and it's so exciting because you're picking a guy from one end of the nation to play alongside of a guy from another end, and you don't know what they're like until you see them juxtaposed, and it's a guessing game to catch the chemistry right. It'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'd love to walk out of here on Sunday with victories, but we're a young team. Everything we do from here on in is a bonus. We've met everyone's expectations and gone beyond that, but the guys want it badly, and so does the coaching staff, and we're competitive.
Every year, thousands of babies die from choking, suffocating, or other breathing emergencies. Just imagine how many of them could be saved if only they came with instructions. Please learn American Red Cross Infant and Child CPR. American Red Cross. We help you help others.
It's the Huxtable's greatest hits. Everybody's doing a brand new dance now.
Timeless love song.
There you go.
Heartwarming duets.
Twinkle.
And family classics. 5 times a week, the Huxtable's greatest hits.
Cosby, weeknights at 7, only on 6 Alive.
Well, the Celtics in New York tonight to take on the New York Knicks, who are reeling. They'd lost 5 in a row, but Patrick Ewing came up with his career-high scoring total, but the Celtics came back late, beat the Knicks 115-110. The Celtics trying to get a little home court advantage in the opening round of the playoffs. They're now game and a half in front of the Knicks, solidly in second place in the Atlantic Division's, the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division. Now, Philadelphia had to come from behind late, the Sixers beating the Bullets. That would have put the Celtics a game up in the loss column on Philadelphia, which continues to lead Boston by a game and a half. Orlando a winner tonight. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, I'm sorry, the Bucks came from behind and got them late. That's another comeback. Magic was leading earlier in that game, 109-101. Hornets and Hawks, that one no surprise. It was the Atlanta Hawks beating the Charlotte Hornets tonight, 122-109. Cleveland and New Jersey, the Cavaliers, a winner at home, 115-108. And Chicago, the Kings of Sacramento leading the Bulls now late, 115-113, but still time remaining late in that game. Golden State and Houston, the Warriors trailing the Rockets by 10 in the third period of play. And Detroit Pistons, a 4-point leader over the Spurs, 75-71 in the third period of that basketball game. All of New England has been thrilling to the play of the UConn Huskies basketball team this year. Their last challenge on the way to the Final Four, great indeed. Coach Mike Krzyzewski and the Duke Blue Devils. Now UConn's Chris Smith drive partially blocked. Bobby Hurley gets the rebound. He goes to Robert Brickey. He kind of slows it down, but goes back to Bobby Hurley streaking for the basket. Hurley dishes it off to Christian Laettner, who jams it home for the Blue Devils. They led by as much as 11 points in this basketball game. Jim Calhoun's group, though, was able to come back in the second half. In that second half, Chris Smith of UConn tries to drive. Once again, Bobby Hurley ends up with a loose ball and gets down court for another Leitner jam. Kabumaribi in the overtime. Duke behind 78-77 with time running out. Great coaching. Connecticut looking for the alley-oop. They don't guard the inbound man, so Duke does a simple give and go. Christian Leitner with the 15-foot jump shot. Duke moves to the Final Four for the 4th time in 5 years because of that great coaching with a 79-78 win over Connecticut. And Coach K has to be considered when he gets a team into the Final Four, and that scouting job he did in the last play of the game, one of the reasons why. Now, a couple of Southwest Conference teams meeting in the finals of the Midwest Regional. Lindsey Howell rebounds the Todd Day miss and gets it back to Day for the basket. That's a high percentage shot right there. Arlen Bauer for Arkansas. Misses from the outside, but watch how they get on the boards. Oliver Miller rebounds the Arkansas miss. Not such a high percentage shot as he misses the jam. The Longhorns Blanks takes the outlet pass the other way, and this cuts the Arkansas lead to 46-33. Arkansas coach Nolan Richardson right there. He's got a good club, but they got to keep it together. Lee Mayberry drives and scores for Arkansas. And then the Razorbacks steal the inbounds pass. It goes to Mayberry, who hits the three. Arkansas with a big lead. They hold on to win the game 88-85 in a game that wasn't as close as the final score indicates. So Arkansas wins the Midwest Regional. They nipped Texas 88-85. The Southeast Regional, Georgia Tech and Minnesota. That will be played tomorrow afternoon. Interesting contrast and styles there. And this one going to be tremendous, a running gun game as the Running Rebels of LV take on the Cinderella Dream Team, I guess we'll say, of Loyola Marymount of California. That one should see some points score in that one. Now the Boston Bruins lost today. They lost by the score of 7-6. They trailed in the game 7-4, got 7-3, got 3 quick goals, but it was not enough. Maine Mariners up in Cape Breton were losers 4-3. They led by the score of 4-3 before 3-2 before Cape Breton came back with the last 2 scores of the hockey game. Maine tied for the final playoff spot, but Springfield now has 2 games in hand. Okay, more Maine and Wisconsin overtime action coming your way in just a minute.
She says, well, I know you're only dating him because you're doing this to spite me.
It wasn't like we were raping these girls. I mean, they were coming up to us.
What happened?
I think Jason got in a downward spiral, and like evidently any kid that age, once they feel they hit bottom, they don't think they can climb back out.
Donahue. One word says it all. Donahue, weekdays at 12:30, only on 6 Alive.
All right, back at the Dane County Coliseum in Madison, Wisconsin, 3-3. The Bears and the Badgers in a good old-fashioned dogfight here tonight. Nothing gives so far, and oh boy, the Bears know that every shot on goal now is could be the last one, and they also know that every shot against Dirksen could be the one to get them in tomorrow.
Well, you know, it's a do or death, you know, do or die. Here we go. One shot and the game could be over. Hopefully Maine can maintain a lot of pressure on Dirksen and get some rebound goals and or get a rebound goal and see what happens.
Well, the Badgers, as we have shown you some of the statistics during the course of the game, very, very good here at home. They've got a long unbeaten streak going of 10 games or so. The Bears playing just over 500 on the road, and something has got to give here tonight. Here come the Badgers on the ice.
If any time these fans want to get going, it's right now, trying to get this Badger team rolling. I think the crowd so far this evening has really been just average crowd.
Right.
They really haven't hurt the game that much or helped the game. 3 goals by Maine didn't help.
By the way, after 3 periods of play, Wisconsin has outshot Maine 28-16. And so let's give some credit to Scott King there for helping to hold down the fort. I'm sure that he probably wishes he obviously had that first one back, and then I think he'd like to have that McDonald shot back that tied the game at 3, too.
On that shot, it looked like it was going over the net, and Scotty probably figured it was going over the net because that shot was right under the crossbar, and just a beautiful shot. You got to give credit to a goal scorer like that when you can let a bomb go on the fly.
Well, it turned out to be the only goal of the 3rd period. It came at the 6:17 mark, and here it is, number 12, Doug McDonald.
Dougie just comes up the middle, and Scott King's a big person, 6 foot. He takes up a lot of net, and he just blasts one right over Scotty's shoulder. Scott's out. He's definitely got the angle cut. That was a great shot.
And that got the game tied at 3, and now here come the Bears. John Massera, Randy Olson and company.
Sean probably stressing that they have to have a 3rd man back at all times. Play real smart defense, and they should be flooding the net with shots and just having a lot of concentration, high intensity around Wisconsin's net. And one thing they can't stop doing is hitting. They can't go into a shell in overtime. They have to play how they got to the playoffs here.
Does Wisconsin, do you think, play a little more conservative, knowing that even if they do give up the goal, that they can play tomorrow night, whereas Maine knows that there is no tomorrow?
This is an experienced team. 10 players with over 100 games under their belt. These guys aren't going to let up for anything. They're going to come right out and go after Maine. And they don't want to go to a 3rd game. They want to finish this tonight and move on to Detroit. They don't want to give Maine a sniff.
And so Dirksen makes 5 stops in that 3rd period for a game total of 16. Jeff Sauer has to be pleased with that, I would think. And meanwhile, Scott King stopped 10 shots alone in that 3rd period for a 3-period total of 28. And Sean Wall says, hey, look at that, little smile.
He's got to be relaxed. He can't be all tense and be as emotional as he usually is, because, hey, if the players see that, that's going to be a direct reflection on them, and they're going to be tense and get all upset with the puck. That's when you have turnovers, and those turnovers turn into goals.
And let's look at the numbers. The Bears are 3-2-1 in overtime. Wisconsin is 5-0-1 in overtime. Something has to give here tonight. Will there be a 3rd game tomorrow night, or will it end tonight? We will play a 10-minute sudden death overtime period. At the end of the 10 minutes, if there is no goal scored, then they will swap ends and keep on playing. And it'll be Bice and Olson on the initial draw. And overtime is underway. Olson fires it in. Dirksen makes the stop behind the net. Osiki and Andringa play defense for Maine. Olson is checking hard. Now Pellerin gives a man a hit. The puck squirts free. Olson has it checked away by Bice, and Osiki is on it. Badgers having trouble getting out of their zone. Now they do. Bice moves in. Richter goes after it with Olson. Richter goes down. Joining in, though, is Bice, and now Olson goes down for Maine. Back to the point it'll come. Roy does a good job to steal that puck, and back comes Jean-Yves. His shot on is stopped by Hill. Maine wants to change. Badgers will fire it down. King makes the stop. We've played just about a minute here in overtime. 3-3 the score. Now Sean Hill being chased by Perron. He hauls him down. Sagasur gets the puck up to Shuchuk. Now Tanzel cruises in to go get it. Against Burke, centering pass in front, knocked down in front, and we've got a whistle. And what do we have? Just a stoppage in play, I guess. I thought he might call a penalty.
Guy Perron got away with one there. He tackled Sean Hill, and one thing in overtime, the officials usually let things go a little bit. See the replay.
That's Tanzel.
Tanzel centers it right out, and Scott King says, I'm hanging on. I'm taking a break.
And now it's Shuchuk and Barkley on the draw. Won by the Badgers, shot on, kicked away by King, kept in though by Hill. He moves up in deep, but Maine takes over. Wing to wing, they try to connect, but it deflects right down on Dirksen. Now they'll sweep it around the dasher. Listen to that heavy hitting along the boards. Hill can't clear it. Now he regains it and sends it to center ice. Sagasor wanted to break away, but couldn't. Here comes Maine. Belfay in. Behind the net. Hill takes over. He's played every time, all the seconds here in overtime. Now Sagasor wants to move but can't. Mendel will just dump it in, and Sagasor will go after it, as will Shuchuk. Now King is knocked down behind the net, and he's out. Scott King is down and out behind the Maine net, and Dickie Young comes running down.
Well, it looks like he fell right on his head there, Dale.
I didn't see what happened. It was away from the puck. Here it is. That's Shuchuk.
Fans should make the call there.
I think King's okay. It looked like a little smile on his face there as he was talking to Roy.
Maybe trying to draw a penalty. He had words with Shuchuk earlier.
And now Sean Walsh is up on the bench and I think is arguing where they're going to hold the face-off maybe, but anyway, they hold it right about at center ice and it comes down on Dirksen. 7:54 now left in this first 10-minute overtime period. 3-3 is the score. Pellerin moves it around to Scrimmin, but it comes back to the point. Indringa knocks it down in front. Maine takes over. Now it's a little flip shot at center ice. Pellerin couldn't glove it down, and in comes the Badgers. And it's offside as Richter started to move in.
Overtime sure would be a nice time to have Jimmy McDonald in the lineup.
Montgomery, yeah, boy, oh boy. Well, that's what I'm sure that the Bears are hoping for. If they can get by tonight, they get Jim Montgomery back for tomorrow night. And what a shot in the arm that would be. Next goal wins. And now McDonald will take the draw with Robitaille. This time it is won by Maine. Fired down the ice. On it first is Tomberlin. He gets to it. Mendel will check him against the boards. Tomberlin keeps fighting. Shot stopped in front. And there's a shot by Robitaille that just went wide. Oh my, Martin just missed the corner. Now Hill fans on the shot. Robitaille has it. Into the corner it goes. Mendel takes Tomberlin. McDonald joins in. Robitaille is there too, waiting for the puck to get free, and McDonald gets it. Now Robitaille tried to center it in front, but Toomey is there. The Badgers start up ice, a crisscross move with Granado, and now it's Andringa. He'll control to Hill, who will just flip it ahead. Now it's intercepted by McDonald. He'll make a move, then crisscross. Puck is loose, but is ridden out of there by Maine's Barkley. Here comes Mike Barkley. He's got Robitaille, or Perron rather, centering pass, knocked down in front. Puck is loose, cleared away to the corner to Toomey. Maine with another chance at it. Both teams making changes again. Now here comes Maine. It is Sulfi. His pass tried to tip it in front is Belfay. He couldn't do it. And now the puck jumps up into the crowd. Oh my, Martin Robitaille had a chance, and then Belfay just tried to tip it as the Bears put some heavy-duty pressure on.
Shows you what happens when you have a good forecheck going. You never know what's going to happen, especially in OT. The pressure's built up a little bit on these players, you know. There's a lot of action down there, and you tense up, especially in OT.
And, of course, everybody knows the Johnny Brouillard story with 7 game-winning goals, a couple of them in overtime. The draw is between Shuchuk. Won by the Badgers, and Dringa will clear. It'll scoot down the ice. It will not reach icing territory, however. Kept in by the Badgers for the moment. Now still kept in. No, they say it jumped over. Sagasor brought it back in, but it was over the blue line. 5:52 now left in this sudden death overtime period as Jeff Sauer paces just a little bit more.
Definitely knows he's in a hockey game tonight.
Yeah,
he's experienced, so he's played Maine. He's been up to the Alphon. He knows what Sean puts together as a team. Last night wasn't any indication of what Maine was actually all about.
And Sean Walsh perhaps gets another gray hair or two after this playoff series. No matter what happens the rest of the way, Maine has done well here. Now there's a shot by Roy, who couldn't get it off. He was held off for the moment, but gains control. Roy in front, knocked down by Osicki, and he starts out. He's got Rolnick. He'll shoot it ahead. Fans wanted a call there. There's a shot fired on in front by Richter, but it went wide. Puck jumps on front, and King will hold on. Oh my, that puck jumped in front, and King had to be alert to stop that and just keep it under that glove.
Well, the puck went behind the net, and thank goodness he slid right over and held that left post.
So both teams have had a couple of 3 opportunities to perhaps get the game winner. And here it is.
See, Scotty moves right over and holds that post, and Steve Roenick right there trying to pick up a little garbage.
5:22 left in this first 10-minute overtime period. Shuchuk and Robitaille. Robitaille's kicked out of the draw. Shuchuk wins it. Back to Tanzel. His shot just wide. Mendel keeps it in, but Scremin tries to clear the zone. Can't quite do it. Kept in by the Badgers. Turnaround shot, knocked down, and Maine skates away. Now Hill just tips it back over the line as Tomberlin couldn't get it. Here's Tanzel again. His shot is high and wide, hits off the glass, and Guy Perron is on it for the Bears. Around the dasher, but not out. Yes, it does skip out. Hill tied up on the boards by Perron, but now here comes Sagasor trying to move in. Here's a shot. Score! Jeff Jerry Shuchuk gets the game winner. Well, the pictures tell it all, don't they? There's Sagasor and King, and the teams shake hands. Here's the game winner right here. Sagasor to Shuchuk. I take that back. It was Sagasor all the way. It never reached Shuchuk.
Just took a backhand and beat Scotty. Might have been anticipating a little bit Shuchuk coming down the backside there. He was going for the pass, and it actually looked like it might have went off Claudio Scremin's stick.
Well, you saw the faces just a moment ago. The Maine players, they gave it their all. Give credit to the Badgers. Tom Sagasor They are back in the Final Four for the first time since 1983. It is a senior-laden team. It is a tough weekend for the Bears, but if nothing else, the Maine Black Bears certainly redeemed themselves tonight and played them even Steven. And when it comes down to overtime, you know that anything can happen. A simple little break here or there.
Maine definitely had his chances in OT.
And so the Bears lose the game in overtime to Wisconsin. Congratulations to the Badgers. They're an outstanding team, and particularly here at home, it is a tough, tough place to beat the Badgers. And so the season comes to an end for the Maine Black Bears right here in Madison, Wisconsin. And we'll be back with more on the postgame after this timeout.
What's most important when you buy a car, the sale or the service? At Portsmouth, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, both are equal. They inspire customer satisfaction with low prices and 5-star rated quality service. From the Seacoast's largest selection of Caravans and Voyagers, you can take delivery of a Caravan for just $11,995 or a Grand Caravan for just $14,995. From sale to service, satisfaction keeps customers coming back. Portsmouth, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Route 1 bypass.
By sweeping the Bowling Green Falcons, the Black Bears of Maine advanced to the NCAA quarterfinals for the 4th consecutive season. In addition, Sean Walsh has been named Hockey East Coach of the Year, and the Bears have set new marks in home attendance, home wins, and goals in a single game. Tonight, they continue their quest for the national title. Good luck from Port Royal Export Premium Beer, imported in refrigerated ships. Maine, your ship is coming in soon. Hall of Fame's baseball cards and comic books, 383 Warren Avenue, Portland, and Champion. It's perfect timing for a tune-up. Contact your local Champion spark plug supplier.
You're a natural beauty, Sally, but it's my job to turn you into a winner.
Cloris Leachman guides Diane Lane down the runway in Miss All-American Beauty.
The swivel is the enemy of the glide. You've got to glide through your space. Glide.
Talent is only as good as its packaging.
Miss Sally Butterfield.
Wow, everything's happening so fast.
This is totally unacceptable.
Sunday at 2 on 6 Alive.
The celebration is on here in America's Dairyland, Madison, Wisconsin, as the Badgers have beaten the Bears in overtime 4-3. And Wisconsin wins the series 2-0 and will advance to the Final Four. They will take on either the Gophers from Minnesota or the Eagles from Boston College. That series is tied at 1 game apiece. And as the Badgers come back out for a curtain call here at Dane County Arena, you have to say goodbye to a lot of Maine kids who have worked so hard over the years, and we're talking about the Maine seniors. John Macera, Guy Perron, Christian Lalonde, Claudio Scrimmin, Jim Burke, Scott King.
On the upside, 10 underclassmen in the game tonight. A lot of freshmen and sophomores playing big roles for this Maine team, and that's very positive.
And I think more than anything else, after last night's game, the Bears came back tonight and said, hey, we can play hockey in your ring, and they did.
Well, they came into, next to Maine, the toughest place to play college hockey, and they had a heck of a job tonight.
This place is steeped in tradition. The Wisconsin Badgers have won 4 national championships over the years. No other college team has ever won 4 national championships, and now the Badgers have a chance to go on and go for 5. In fact, their slogan all year has been the drive for 5, and the drive is still alive. But the road to the Final Four for the Bears makes a stop here in Madison, Wisconsin, and it's a stop that ends the season 4-3.
It all started here in Great Works, just outside Old Town, with Percy O'Keefe's father and his partner some 78 years ago. They would mix up the flavors, all the good ones like root beer, birch beer, sarsaparilla, even cream sodas, bottle it up themselves. And for over 30 years now, Percy's been delivering S&OK soda all around Maine. For the good old-fashioned flavors, S&OK soda from Butterfield Bottling, a Maine native.
University of Maine playoff hockey on 6 Alive is being brought to you by Portsmouth Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, your total transportation center. By Century Tire, with 3 locations in Portland and North Windham. We'll keep you rolling. And by Therma-Tru, doors that fit tight and fit right. Making doors that last made us first.
It's only fitting that Tom Sagasor, a senior player playing in his 160th career game here in Wisconsin, gets the game winner, and the Badgers have the overtime win 4-3 over Maine.
Well, you have to wish them luck in the Final Four. They played some pretty good hockey this year. WCHA champs, had good playoff success, and you have to wish the best of luck to them.
And a tip of the hat to this game, Maine Black Bear team with 33 wins on the year for the 3rd straight year, into the NCAA playoffs for the 4th straight year, and you get the feeling that even better days are ahead for this Black Bear team.
Well, there were a lot of question marks earlier in the year. People were asking, do we have defense? Do we have goaltending? What does this team need? Well, the questions were answered, and they have a bright future ahead of them.
And so we have to say so long from Madison, Wisconsin. We thank you all for joining us, and thanking you for joining us for the entire season on the Black Bear Sports Network. It certainly has been great fun. We've had 3 overtime games. I guess it's a heartbreaker for Maine fans. We know all of Maine and the Maritimes are a little bit saddened right now, but it was a game effort by the Black Bears here tonight, I think, more than anything else. But at the same time, we say congratulations to the Badgers for an outstanding job. And so, from the Dane County Coliseum in Madison, Wisconsin, I'm Dale Duff. For Scott Smith and our entire crew, thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.